air that we breathe.
But we all share much more. Every soul at its core knows what every other person hopes and needs. Every heart wants to grow. Every mind needs to know. Every voice wants a chance to be heard. Every person who lives shares the hope they can give. Let us all share the joy.
By the time we can walk, each of us yearns for the joy that comes from being able to do for ourselves. Around the block or around the world, share the joy. Church World Service.
You're watching viewer-supported WYIN, Gary Maryville.
The following is a LaCie Sports presentation.
It's the Vikings of Valparaiso meeting the Ben Davis Giants in the Class 5A state championship game. Valparaiso rolled over Fort Wayne Snyder 45-13 in the semi-state. The Vikings seek their second state title behind an offensive triple threat, running back Matt Hanlon, quarterback Jason Wren, and wide receiver Jeff Samardzija. Ben Davis defeated Evansville Reitz in the semi-state. The Giants are blessed with one of the top quarterbacks in the nation in James Banks. Coach Dick Dullahan is in pursuit of an IHSAA record 7th state championship. It's number 3 Valparaiso facing number 1 Ben Davis for the 5A state championship crown. LaCie Broadcasting is proud to present the 2001 IHSAA State Football Finals.
We welcome you inside the beautiful RCA Dome, in the heart of downtown beautiful Indianapolis, all decorated for the Christmas season. But no gift giving tonight. Ben Davis Giants come in undefeated in the state, taking on the Valparaiso Vikings, and this is the battle for the big school, the 5A championship. Hello to our viewers all around the great state of Indiana. Well, Bob and I have been in these chairs since noon today, so they're pretty well formed to our you-know-what. We've seen a couple of pretty good games, 4 good teams. We've got 2 more great teams coming in tonight.
Well, it's been a great tournament, as you say, and I think one of the keys tonight is that Valparaiso and Mark Hoffman, Mark's been here before, but this team has not. Ben Davis kind of looks at the RCA Dome as a home field advantage, so it could be a factor. They won the state championship a couple years ago. They still have James Banks. That's going to be a factor. We're looking forward to it.
So we'll set up and come back in just a moment, set up the top players and take a look at the lineup for tonight's game.
I'm Alan Hari, president of Valparaiso University. On behalf of the 6 colleges and universities of Northwest Indiana that sponsor the Quality of Life Council, I invite you to watch QLC Talk of the Region. This program airs the second Friday and Sunday of each month. It focuses on issues important to the quality of life in our region. Please join us for this important program. Thank you.
Valparaiso Vikings come into this championship game for the 5A title at 13-1. They lost to Penn, but they also had to beat Penn to get here, so we know they got a pretty good football team.
They got a great football team. They also beat Snyder last week. Fort Wayne Snyder had another great season, so you know they're a good football team. They've got some key players we're going to keep an eye on, including Matt Hanlon, who's a senior running back linebacker. He's 6'3", 210 pounds. That goes both ways. He ran for 1,787 yards and 30 touchdowns on the season. And he is an outstanding athlete, as I said, and an outstanding leader. Now, another young man that they count on a lot defensively is Garrett Gray, a senior linebacker, 6 foot 192, 155 tackles on the season, 17 sacks, 2 interceptions. He's outstanding. Keys to win for Valparaiso, their size in the trenches. They average over 275 pounds in the line. They have special teams, and that includes their kicker, Joya, and a young man named Samardzija who can return kicks and can get on the board in a hurry. Also, they need to avoid making any Banks deposits. And by that, of course, we mean anytime James Banks touches the ball on special teams especially will be a mistake, Mark Hoffman tells me. He's dangerous. They got to keep the ball away from him. And I'll tell you what, Mark Hoffman is ready, and he's got a team to be proud of. They're ready to take on the Ben Davis Giants.
When you look at Ben Davis, you have to look at their offensive line and defensive line, and that's where it's got to be done for us. In order for any team to beat Ben Davis, and no one's been able to do that because they've lost up front. And if we could control the ball and do some things against their defense, that gives us a chance. And if anyone can stop their offense, you have to start with the front line first, and that's going to be a big task for our defensive line.
And here's the road to the Dome for Valparaiso. Portage, Lake Central, and Chesterton went down to defeats. In the regional, they get by Penn 24-21. They trailed that game 21-7 in the fourth quarter. Semi-state, they just roll over Fort Wayne Snyder by a score of 45-13. And I'll tell you what, just a great win for them. And a lot of confidence coming in. They've played better as the season's gone along.
Okay, now let's talk about the Ben Davis Giants. Unbeaten in 14 games. Ranked number 1 in the state, one of the top teams in the entire country. You cannot have avoided knowing something about Ben Davis and the legendary coach Dick Dullahan. Now, let me guess here, Bob. The key players, would it include a guy that wears number 10 named James Banks?
It has to. It would have to on any team around the country. James Banks, 6'3", 191, 1,389 yards passing, 782 yards rushing, 12 touchdowns rushing, and he's just been outstanding. Another guy is Joshua Foster on defense. Free safety, 5'11", 163, 166 tackles, 3 interceptions. Keys to win, an explosive offense. They work for big plays, and when they happen, it happens in a hurry. Aggressive defense. Their quickness and size at linebacker and in the secondary nullifies a lot of what the other teams want to do, and they expect to win. Valpo is new to the Dome. The Giants live here, as they have in the successful reign of Mr. Dick Dullahan.
Well, we got to hope that they have a little trouble chasing the speed that we have. And we do have good speed and as a team. And we've got to try to keep their offense from controlling the line of scrimmage and just keeping the football. The battle of field position will be very important.
Here's a look at how Ben Davis got to the Dome. Their road to the Dome included wins over Pike, Southport, and Decatur Central in the sectional. Look at those lopsided scores. Another lopsided score against Warren Central. And in the semi-state, Evansville Rights goes down 61-20. It's a dangerous Ben Davis team ready to take on Valparaiso.
Well, the teams are on the field. It was interesting to note that when the Ben Davis Giants came out, every one of their members on their roster was carrying a flag of the United States of America.
Our kickoff brought to you by Indiana State University. Education the way it's supposed to be. And I'll tell you what, Jerry, it was a great sight to see that. And it has been a great part of actually this whole football season. September 11th obviously was a week when a lot of games were postponed. A lot of games were moved back to at least to Saturday. But I don't know that there was a time or has been a time since then where we didn't have a special moment pregame or at halftime to celebrate the fact that we are a united nation. We will endure and overcome so many great obstacles, and it was great to be together. It was great for people to be at venues together, to sing the national anthem and to have a moment of prayer and remember all the challenges that we face outside of the arena. But we do what we do because we're Americans, and this is what we do. We celebrate our young people and their efforts, and that's why we're here tonight.
I suppose the next step, let's get back to what we do best, which is living life. Kickoff brought to you by Indiana State University. Everything University ought to be. Here's the kickoff by Casey Huffman. It is heading upfield, taking it about the 3-yard line, across the 15 of the 20, out to the 23-yard line, and that is the puck from which Valparaiso will go to work offensively. Charles Harris, the guy who gets credited with the tackle that time for the Ben Davis Giants. We will set up the offensive lineup for Valparaiso, an 18-yard kick return.
And our starting lineups are brought to you by Motorcycles of Indiana. They want you to get revved up for the starting lineup. Jason Wren at quarterback, Matt Hanlon, and Matt Gass in the backfield. Tight end is Aaron Ewing. Adrian Demko, wide receiver, along with Jeff Samardzija. He is special. in that offensive line. Ludwig, Maddox, Kurga, Whitehead, Potts, and that is a big offensive line. But Ben Davis has a few people that line up with those 70s on their jerseys as well.
You got that right. Dante Hart to stop that time as Jason Wren, the quarterback, on the quarterback keeper. Here's the Ben Davis defensive unit now up front.
Quinn Welburn, a defensive end, along with Mike Richardson. Hart and Owens, the tackles. Tom Bernard is the strong safety. And then Polston and Jones, along with Meeks at linebacker. Free safety is Foster. The cornerbacks Harris and James Banks, two-way performer.
They'll set up in a power on to put a man in motion. Move the ball to the right side, get themselves 3 or 4 yards, keeping it on the ground, just trying to kind of get a feel for the game. Josh Foster, the free safety, talked about him in the opening of our telecast. He comes in to make the stop. Young Matt has been very busy in that defensive secondary for Ben Davis, and as Bob pointed out, James Banks, number 10, will go both ways. We asked him the other day where he thought he was going to play in college. He said, without even hesitating, I am a quarterback. So we'll see what happens there. Jason Wren for the Valparaiso Vikings, number 6, is 6-footer, 209 pounds. He's only a junior. Once again, they set 2 men in motion, and they'll reset him. Setting off to the near side now is Jeff Samardzija. At the bottom of your screen, they're looking to Samardzija's direction, trying to get the ball out to him, and overthrown. Good coverage that time from James Banks.
Good coverage, good idea too. They gave a little pump fake, trying to get Banks to bite on the out route. Samardzija going to go deep, and he was covered well by Banks, and so the ball overthrown. Nobody could catch that one, and brings up a 4th down and a long 2 for Valparaiso.
And they will punt it away. The punter for Valparaiso is number 9, John Kleisa. And Valparaiso will kick to, well, any number of return men. They have 5 that they'll use on the punt return situation. This is Banks. Banks comes to the near side, cannot turn the corner, will be thrown back around the 30-yard line by Mike Durilla, who plays the Viking spot on the Valpo defensive side of the line. So now we'll check out the starting lineups. That's a -7 yards on the punt return by Banks. He could not get the corner turned. And Ben Davis will go to work now.
Couldn't get the corner turn, but he'll always look for it.
You betcha.
And Dick Dullahan wants him to. 1st and 10 from the 35.
Check him out now. He'll set up the offense for the Ben Davis Giants, looking for yet another state championship. Banks of the line, strong to the left side. The tight end set over there, Brian Ferris. Here's the pitch back deep. 4 or 5 yards on the play by Dante Hart. Garrett Gray makes the stop. He's the top tackler for Valparaiso. Here's the offensive lineup now for the Ben Davis Giants.
Motorcycles of Indianapolis bring you the starting lineups. James Banks at quarterback, Garrett Phillips and Adam Blakely in the backfield. Bo Thompson's the flanker. Zach Rainey at split end, Brian Ferris at tight end. And in that big offensive line, as we said, for Indianapolis, Ben Davis, Brian Abney is the center. Rich Gregory, Jared Evans, Ryan Culp, and Joe Spinks. Joe Spinks is special, number 66. An outstanding young man, academically, athletically, and a great leader.
Banks gets him back to the line of scrimmage on 2nd and 4. Maybe a yard, not much more than that for Dante Hart. When you put together your spotting charts for Ben Davis, you got to go 4 deep at receiver, 4 deep at fullback, and 4 deep at tailback, because Dick Dullahan will run a lot of people in there. Here's the defensive unit now for the Valpo Vikings.
At the defensive ends, Windsor and Vale. McShane, a big man inside, along with Chris Yaros. And the Viking back is Mike Durilla. Linebackers are Gray, Hanlon, and Story. Samardzija, Hines, and Bowe in that secondary. And that Viking back, he's free to roam. He'll show up at all kinds of different places.
Well, a 3rd and 3 now. Big third down situation now. Banks running to the right side, throws it over the middle, got the pass complete. It is caught by, I believe that is Ferris. We'll check when they come off the deck down there.
Oh, and he got
Nate
down
Hines is the guy who was in defensively. Charles Thompson, 83, not 85.
Outstanding play. And again, watch the wide receiver. He knows one thing for sure. There's a safety and a corner looking to pinch him and try to knock the ball loose. So what do? Get out.
made him miss.
Of course, what he does also, Bob, on that 12-yard gain is when he starts to run with the football, you can't ignore the fact that he may continue to run. So you've got to react to it, and if you do, then he's going to find the open man. Let's stick a man in motion this time. It's Jermel Wharton. Back to throw. They're looking in the direction of Wharton. Can they get it to him? They cannot. Jermel was down there, had his man beaten along the sideline with the pass just overthrown. Matt Handlin had defensive coverage that time.
A&R Erectors on the west side of Indianapolis specialize in machinery moving and rigging, overhead crane installation, structural fabrication, and millwright work. For more information, call Ben Davis graduates Rick Warm and Dan Huffman at 317-271-3429. That's area code 317-271-3429, or visit them on the web at www.arerectors.com.
Evans, Gregory, Abney, Culp, and Spinks. That's the offensive front line for Dick Dullahan's Ben Davis Giants, and the flag flies prior to the start of the play. Movement on one side of the football or the other. Suspicions are it's an offensive penalty, and it is going to be an illegal procedure call. Jared Evans, 345 pounds, number 79. Rich Gregory, 236. Brian Abney, the center, 227. Ryan Culp, the strong guard, at 242, and Joe Spinks at 229. So that offensive front five averages 255.8 pounds per man. They're going up against a front four from defensive end to defensive end for Valparaiso that averages 228. So we're talking about a 27-pound difference per man average, offensive to defensive. Banks on the give to Dante Hart, and Hart gets it across midfield, and Garrett Gray is there to stop him. Gray is the top tackler for Valparaiso. 155 tackles coming into the game. He's a senior, a 6-footer, 192 pounds. So a third down situation, third and long, third and about 13. And this is where Banks can be very dangerous. You cannot back off on a 3rd and 13. It's a passing situation, obviously, but you got to cover the receivers very well because Banks can run with the football. He will set up with Adam Blakey in the backfield with him, the fullback, as the protector right now. Slot to the right, wide out at the top of your screen. Banks has an open man. He's got the pass complete. Now can they pick up the yardage? They will get the yardage, but it's going to be close anyway. What a great run after the catch that time by Adam Blakey.
Nice job. Knew where he had to get to. Banks delivered the ball with plenty of time for him to look around a little bit, figure out what he had to do.
You know, according to my figures here, that's only the 3rd catch of the year for Adam Blakey. We showed him with 2 for 13 yards coming into the game.
Well, then they've been saving him.
Yes, they have. They've hit him very well. It is a first down.
Folks, a reminder that Arturo's Restaurant is located here in Indianapolis at 2727 East 86th Street. Arturo's Restaurant is Howard Kelman's favorite Italian restaurant in Indianapolis. And stop by and see Howard and the folks from Arturo.
He's there right now. It's a 1st and 10 with 7.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Ben Davis getting the football for the first time.
It's 2 out of 2 on 3rd down conversions. I know it's early, but it's the kind of momentum you want to build.
They give it again in the backfield over the right side. Not much running room for Dante Hart. Hart is hit by Ryan Story, the weak side linebacker. Had help from the defensive end of the other side. Nick Windsor was swung over to help him out that time.
Watch it again, and the contact coming up here in good, solid, fundamental positioning by Ryan Story. Watch him square up here, low base, and then start to drive his legs. And that was the end of it.
Ben Davis Giants unbeaten in 14 games. Dr. Terry Thompson, the superintendent. David Marcotte, the principal. Chris Dillow is the athletic director. Metropolitan Conference members. 2,514 students own 3 years. The plan at Ben Davis High School. 8th play of the drive. Here's James. He will swing to the right side. Does a toe dance down the sideline. Gets it down to the 5 and inside the 5. And they'll mark it down at about the 4-yard line where Mike Gorilla knocks him out of bounds. And that just is exactly what we have been talking about. This young man, if you don't respect his run, he will make you pay for it time and time again.
What a 30-yard gain. And again, watch the play develop. Snap gets to him a little bit late. And unable to turn it in that time was Gorilla. number 21, and when he couldn't make the corner, couldn't establish the corner, Banks got around it pretty quickly. Which he does everything pretty quickly.
Good-sized young man, 6'3", 191 pounds, a senior. And from the interview we did with him the other day, I don't think there's a lot of fat on that frame. Cutting inside, trying to get into the end zone is Dante Hart again. He'll be shy of the end zone, I believe, but inside the 1-yard line, where Garrett Gray is credited with the stop again. They'll mark it down just shy of the goal line. And the one thing that Valparaiso, Bob, cannot afford to do is to allow Ben Davis to get out in front by, let's say, a couple of touchdowns, because you can't play catch-up against this football team.
Coughlin in his 25th year already at Valparaiso.
He's only 51, gives you an indication of when he started coaching. He has 3 grandkids, by the way.
After seeing Jerry Brewer coach, he's only halfway home.
That's right. Up the middle for the touchdown. Just hang on to it. Go to the right guard spot. James Banks has picked up his 13th touchdown rushing from 1 yard out.
10-play drive. Used up a lot of clock. Valparaiso had 3 plays and out. And Banks here, everybody's submarines low, and he just picks a hole and dives in.
So Banks sets the pace for the day, if you will. John Polston, the backup quarterback, will hold. And the point after is Casey Huffman's job. It is up and it is good. So just like that, with 5.5 minutes to go in the first quarter of this game for the 5A championship, the Giants march it upfield, take a 7-0 lead. You're watching the 5A title game on the IHSAA television network.
Local broadcast of the Indiana Class 5 state championship game between the Valparaiso Vikings and Indianapolis Ben Davis High Schools is made possible by grants from the people of First United Methodist Church of Valparaiso, a servant community of Jesus Christ located at 103 North Franklin Street across from the public library.
I miss you. I miss the sound of your voice, our late night conversations. No one knows you like I know you. I've tried to call, but there's no answer. But I'm ready to try again. If you are. Love always. God.
Our hearts, our minds, and our doors are always open. The people of the United Methodist Church.
And Von Tobel Lumber and Hardware, voted one of the best home centers in Northwest Indiana, supplying building materials and services to professional contractors and do-it-yourself consumers. Von Tobel Lumber and Hardware proudly supports Valparaiso High School athletics and has served the Valparaiso community for over 35 years.
You're watching viewer-supported WYIN Gary Maryville.
He uses all that size and gets into the end zone for the touchdown.
As impressive as James Banks is running the football, throwing the football, I loved his leadership there. 2 key third downs early in the drive, and he got it done both times. A 12-yard pass completion, then a 13-yard pass completion on 3rd down and long. Kept the drive alive, gave himself an opportunity to get on the board, and he did. He's been doing that for a long time. He's one of probably the most memorable players that's played football here in Indiana. Not the great individual numbers that you see, maybe the guy that gained 4,000 yards in a career, but he has done everything to make this a better team, and you have to totally dedicate about half of your defense to him every time he's on the field.
Well, it kind of goes along with what I said earlier. Likewise, when you start looking at the roster and realize the number of players that play in the skilled positions, that means that James Banks is not going to be necessarily the hero all the time, because Dick Dullahan's got a real arsenal of people he can throw in there. Here's the kickoff, taken back at the 8-yard line. Up across the 10, the 15, the 20, 25, 30, spinning out the right side, 35, finally hit and knocked to the ground. It's David Blythe. Boy, a good return that time for the youngster David Blythe. Brought down by Casey Huffman, number 19, who was the kicker. David Blythe is only 5'7", a 30-yard return for the 5'7", 142-pound senior. Kind of sneaked into the defense, if you will, that time. Now the Valparaiso Vikings head back to the line of scrimmage with Jason Wren running the ball club at quarterback. Here's the pitch back to the deep back. That's Matt Hanlon. We'll call his name an awful lot here this evening. Hanlon rushed 282 times coming into this championship game. Brian Meeks, the strong side linebacker. Sam linebacker is the guy who makes the stop.
We talked with Mark Hoffman last week at the IHSAA building at the Monday meeting that's held before the state finals, and he said, you know, the key to this game might be 1 yard. And I said, what do you mean? 3 yards times 3 makes us punt. 4 yards times 3 gives us a first down. We've got to get first downs. We've got to move the flags. And one thing, Jerry, we've got a flag here coming illegal motion against Valparaiso. I would recommend, I guess, that Valparaiso use what they've got. Take their chances early. As you said, if they get behind in this thing, Ben Davis can smell the blood in the water, and they'll go after him big time. They're going to do that anyway. But if they've got something special they want to put out there and give it a shot, they got to do it early. Can't afford to sit on the football.
No. Procedure call against Valparaiso. You heard the official with that call. So we'll mark it down. 2nd down and 12. This time Valpo had the ball, 3 and out. Out of the shotgun formation, running to the near side, Jason Wren. Wren running for his life, gets the 40, gets the 45. He may have the first down. Boy, he is nailed hard right in front of the Ben Davis bench. But Wren pops right up after Foster popped him.
Well, I'll tell you what, he knew where that mark was, too. He could have avoided it, could have gone out of bounds 2 yards short of it and not taken a hit. He was willing to take the shot. Look at the angle he gets here. And again, the over pursued a little bit by Ben Davis. And he's able to get out of there. Now he knows he's got a loose freight train behind him. Here they come.
Here they come.
Change the ball nicely and takes a big hit.
It was number 21, Dante Hart, trying to chase him down out there. 13 yards on the run, but just enough to get the first down. So a good play by Jason Wren, the quarterback for the Valparaiso club, as they move it up toward the midfield stripe, up around the 48-yard line, just shy of the 49, with 4.5 minutes to go. Here in the first quarter, 7-0 Ben Davis for the 5A title. Our eyes up to the right side. And a whistle. And I'm guessing another procedure call against Valparaiso.
Well, they're going to call Valparaiso for illegal motion.
False start, green.
I'm not sure exactly if the officials knew what Valpo was trying to do. Bill, you see the officials there. And the indication is illegal procedure. Doug Stremming, Mark Holsample, Melvin Redmond, Jack Vimy, and Bill Nimnick. Our officials here, we congratulate them as well.
1st and 15 for Valparaiso and their green uniforms. They'll try the right side, get nothing. Kelly green and white, school colors of Valpo. Dr. Michael Benway is the superintendent. Kenneth Brisk, the principal. Sam Rasmussen, the athletic director. Members of the Great Duneland Conference. 2,088 students in the 4 years at Valparaiso High School. And Mark Hoffman, the head coach, in his 25th year at fine northern city.
There's a Burger King near Ben Davis High School at 7430 Rockville Road. Burger King before or after the game?
We could have used a couple of 3 of those about 3 hours ago. Well,
I think they're still open.
Are they? They're a little busy for the next couple of hours anyway. 3:43 to play here in the first quarter of play. Ben Davis with the lead out of the shotgun. Jason Wren again. He'll step back in his own 35. Pressure coming. He manages to dodge that pressure, and the pass is incomplete. Going out on the far side to David Blythe. Blythe got his hands on the football, and as soon as he did, he was nailed from behind. But he's up and he's all right.
He got banged big time from behind that time. Good job by Wren. He's a big, strong kid. He stands in there. A couple people wiping their hands on his jersey there, and he still holds his ground.
Mike Richardson was the guy who put the defensive pressure that time for Ben Davis on quarterback Jason Wren.
John Polston with a hit.
3rd and 15. Trying to pick up all the marbles if possible. Oh, great throw, great catch for Valparaiso. At about the 25-yard line, he had double coverage up there and still found the receiver. And the receiver is that man right there, Adrian Demko, a 6'4", 180-pound junior. With his 9th catch of the year, he had 8 for 143 coming into the game tonight.
Talk about big third down completions, 34 yards on this play. Looks left and then comes back right and tosses it down there. And this is a great catch. Wow. Demko way up in the air to pull that one down. Big third down conversion.
32 yards on the pass reception. You see the massive movement to the right side to reset the offensive line. That forces Ben Davis to adjust defensively. They move it on the right side with Matt Hanlon carrying the football. He stepped out of bounds.
That'll be about 11-yard gain on the play. Good. They're going to say he stepped out just after the first down marker.
Mike Richardson, number 48, the defensive end, is over there to knock him out of bounds, but another good play. And that's what Valparaiso is going to have in this game.
Well, we've got a timeout on the field. Ben Davis and Valparaiso hooked and one here. 3:19 to go in the first quarter. Folks, the Merit Shop is changing the way construction is done in Indiana. Merit Shops employ 2 out of every 3 construction workers in Indiana. Merit Shops are winning awards for the safest job sites and the best trained workers. The Associated Builders and Contractors Education and Training Efforts. Industry known, contractor driven, future oriented. Call Associated Builders and Contractors at 800-333-9844 to see how the next generation of construction workers will be trained. That number again, 800-333-9844. Merit Shop, not only the better way to build, but the safer way to build. And a reminder also that you can visit the Circle City Pizza location at 8424 Pendleton Pike in Lawrence and at 16th and Post Road. Oh, that sounds good. Circle City Pizza.
So far, 6 plays have covered 49 yards, and they've taken 2 minutes and 13 seconds off the clock. And Valparaiso now banging on the door with 3:19 to go here in the first quarter of this game. The ball on the 14-yard line on a 1st and 10 situation. Jason Wren at quarterback sets up his offense again. Spins around, apparently looking for somebody to hand it off to, but kept the football himself and goes down to the 10-yard line where Foster and Todd Barnard are there to knock him down.
Came back inside the seal as the lineman blocked down. Wren knew where the seal was going to be, ran right along it. Picked up about 4 yards on the play. He said he's a big, strong kid.
After they lost the first game of the year to Penn 35-28, they had big wins. They got him through the season at 8-1. And then they knocked off 3 ranked top 10 teams to get to the finals. Over the right side, Hanlon. Hanlon going inside the 5, down to about the 2. This young man's hard to bring down. Good size, 6'3", 210 pounds, a senior. John Polston, the linebacker, in to make the stop on him.
Well, his own man kind of got in front of him here and maybe kept him out of the end zone, but he was in front of him because he had opened a nice hole. As you see him come up behind his tight end. Tried to drag him forward for a little bit.
8 yards on the pickup. Valparaiso can score. They average 37.2 points per game during the season. They're 32 points a game during the playoffs. Here's that formation shift again that sets over on the right side. And a fumble on the football. Down around the 2 or 3. Ben Davis says they have it. And if they do, well, it's a tremendous shift in momentum, and they do. Fumble. Trying to move the ball into the end zone, and the fumble recovery. It looks like number 12, Quentin Wilburn, and that would be, I believe, his first fumble recovery of the year.
Oh, Valparaiso came so far, worked so hard to get down there in that area. Ben Davis Giants were just submarining, and it looks like, well, the ball just came right up out of there. Wren tried to get out of there too soon, too quickly. Tough break for the Vikings, but they've got to see if they can bounce back from that.
Now Ben Davis hustles back to the line of scrimmage. James Banks, 1-yard touchdown run at 5:32 to go here in this quarter. Has given the Giants a 7-0 lead. Hand off up the middle over the left side. And a gain of maybe a yard, if that much. They'll just try to bang it out there and try to get some running room. That time It was Jermel Wharton. Ryan Story, the linebacker, weak side linebacker, number 41, makes the stop. The Wharton story is interesting because Jermel was with Cathedral when they played Ben Davis at the start of the season this year, and then transferred over. He transferred from Cathedral to BD on the 7th of September. He played the first 3 games at Cathedral and had 5 interceptions in those games. And the transfer was all above board and legal, so he is now a member of the Ben Davis Giants. Banks keeps the football. Banks out across the 5 to the 6, maybe the 7-yard line. And the big defensive tackle, Chris Yaros, number 50, is the tackler there.
Folks, remember to dial Dyson, your Lennox dealer located on West Michigan Street in Indianapolis. Enjoy year-round economy with a Lennox high-efficiency gas furnace and air conditioner. Dyson truly cares and offers the best heating value, plus having many Ben Davis graduates to serve you. Call them at 634-4550. Dyson, servicing Central Indiana for over 50 years.
You see James Banks taking control of things in the huddle. They're going to run out of time here. The game clock down to play clock down to 7, down to 6, down to 5. Banks still directing traffic. 49 seconds to go in the quarter. Banks has got to hustle to get away, and he just does beat the clock. Middle of the line, up the middle, Garrett Phillips. Phillips shy of the first down. Story is there to stop him. Now let's see what they may do. Dick Dullahan's a gambler, but I'm not sure he's going to gamble this early in this contest.
Doesn't have to.
He got it. All right.
Just about the length of the football. And it's a good second effort here. He could have gone down there, drags the man with him, takes a hit, spins, and that's good running. And with 37 seconds left to go, they have a first down and a little bit of breathing room back there, but Ben Davis has to guard against a mistake or turnover. They've done a good job of that all season.
You saw number 36, John Kirshner, the sophomore, 6-footer, 181 pounds, come into the lineup at the tight end spot. He and Brian Ferris will either be in there as a tandem or they'll replace each other. Banks keeps the football, gets it across the 15, out to the 17 or 18-yard line, just struggles his way across the 20. They'll mark it down to the 21-yard line, and that's going to be the final play of the first quarter here at the RCA Dome for the 5A championship. Time has run out. Dan Abel makes the stop for Valparaiso. At the end of 1 for the 5A title, the Ben Davis Giants on the 1-yard run from James Banks has the lead 7-0 over Valparaiso here on the Indiana High School Athletic Association Television Network.
Did you know? We're bringing you 2 high school football state championships today on PBS 56. But unfortunately, they're not free. We have to pay the Indiana High School Athletic Association, and we're looking for viewer support to help us do that.
The cost doth come high.
Yes, it does.
Here are some of the premiums you get for calling in at these levels.
There's your sweatshirt, t-shirt combination. You'll get both of those for a pledge of $150 today, and maybe some Italian sausage and beef as well. For $100, you'll get just the 56 Sports sweatshirt. Like to put that on your credit card and be a contributor to 56 Sports. At the $75 level, we'll give you our Property of 56 Sports t-shirt. That'll be yours with your pledge today. And then one of my favorite premiums, the $60 member card, good for 2-for-1 dining. There's nothing wrong with 2-for-1 dining at many area restaurants. It's great to have the high school football state championships on PBS 56. We want to thank our great underwriters for making it possible. And now we'd like to thank you if you give us a call and pledge your support to WYI.
All you do is get out the old plastic, get to the phone, dial us up. You see the numbers. No sense me repeating them for you. You call the numbers. We need the numbers from you also off your charge card. And that will be all it takes. Just a matter of seconds so we can get back to the game.
Valparaiso's had a great year. They beat Penn. That was a huge victory for them. Get on board, get on the bandwagon, and give us a call. Make this game possible. It's a vote for high school football on Channel 56. Get to the phone and give us a call now.
Please.
The IHSAA State Football Championships are brought to you in part by Methodist Sports Medicine. Play hard. We'll take care of the rest. And by Indiana State University, the way college is supposed to be. This is the way a championship game is supposed to be. It is 7-0 with Ben Davis out in front at the end of the first quarter.
Folks, visit Dugan Chevrolet Pontiac at their new facility at Crestwood Crossing in Avon. Over 200 new units and 100 used units are available. A modern facility with the latest technology to take care of all your auto needs. Dugan Chevrolet Pontiac in Avon. Call them 745-6444 or stop by in person. Look at that great inventory they have on hand there.
Let's swing down to the field. Let's go to Greg Rakestraw, who's part of our broadcast crew. Rick?
We have got our first injury update of the night. It's not a player, though. It's an official. Doug Strumming, the back judge. He's being checked out by the Ben Davis training staff as we speak. Thinks he pulled a muscle towards the bottom of his foot. So we may have a little bit of a pause here or simply go with 4 officials. But our first injury tonight, one of the guys in stripes. Back to you, gentlemen.
Yeah, and I see him, Greg. He is up and running. So he's going to be back in. He's going to fight the bullet. In fact, he has set himself up now. We're ready to go.
This is a state championship. You got to go.
Absolutely.
You got to play hurt.
You got to tough it out. There's your score, 7-0 with BD out on top of Valparaiso. Ben Davis with the football. Banks will hand it off to the running back, busting through out across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Well, they got some quick hitters in that backfield, and they will run a number of them in there. Nate Hines is credited with the stop that time.
Man, he gets to that hole in such a big hurry. Look at Valparaiso. They had a move on, they had a little twist on it, and ended up helping to open the hole. Good sure tackle, but boy, that's good running. Now Hoffman trying to find a way to. He's about 8 thumbs. He's got so many holes in the back right now. Trying to stop Ben Davis. It's been a challenge for everybody all season long.
About 9 yards on the run that time for Ben Davis. They set up at the PRI again, put a man in motion. That's a whistle going to stop the play. Bo Thompson was the guy who was in motion that time.
And there will be a delay again against Ben Davis. So we got a 5-yard walk-off. Folks, we do color in a big way, adding big impact and more bang for your printing bucket. Pip Printing. So if you want your printed material in color and on time, we want it in color and on time, take it to Pip.
First quarter, 64 yards rushing for Ben Davis, 46 for Valparaiso. Passing, 26 for Ben Davis, 32 for Valparaiso. You will not see a lot of numbers passing-wise for Ben Davis, but be advised they can throw the football as they do right now. The pass is caught by August Davenport, one of the wide receivers, across the 40, out almost at the 45, and another first down for Ben Davis before the free safety, Nate Hines, is able to make the tackle.
Banks has a rifle, no question about it. When he says, I want to play quarterback in college, it's not because he's arrogant. He has the tools, and he knows it. He steps back. This is a pretty routine drop, looking to the right. Now comes back to the left. He's got his secondary receiver on a slant. Hits him. Gave him time to get some more yardage, about an 8-yard addition to that pass play.
19 yards on the total pickup, and James Banks has the ball club at the 45-yard line right now. Banks will run out of the shotgun this time. Wide receivers both ways, and Banks takes it right up the middle. He got maybe a couple of yards on that play. Looked like a set quarterback draw, and Ryan Story is the guy who makes the stop that time.
Ryan Story refused to get out of the way and made the tackle. Folks, for all your investment needs, call McDonald Investments. McDonald Investments will take you where you want to go.
Let's give credit to this offensive line now of Evans, Gregory, Abney, Culp, and Spinks. We told you they average almost 256 pounds per man. And they are giving Banks an awful lot of time to look for that secondary receiver. Quick hitter again over the left side, over left guard, and not much running room that time. Maybe another yard or so. Garrett Gray climbs off the bottom of the deck there.
Garrett Gray with a nice job. And again, they're just refusing to get moved out of the way. The running back for Ben Davis came through and wasn't able to find any place to get his feet down. Fell forward for about a 3-yard gain.
There's a look at Culp, Abney, and Gregory. 9th play of the drive, and they're not even yet to midfield. 3rd down, 7. Actually, a pretty long 6, it would appear from here. Banks bobbled the football. Did he get it, or did Valparaiso recovery? So a turnover as Valparaiso is about to score, and now James Banks returns the favor. We think it might have been Chris Yaros, number 50, right there on your screen, who comes up with the fumble recovery.
Well, the Valparaiso need a break like this. That ball on the ground, you see him pushed around, and it was Yaros who came up with the football.
And now Valparaiso gets it in pretty good field position.
Ben Davis
to 43.
Ben Davis looked like they were going to put together about a 10-minute drive, Jerry, and that would have just been heartbreaking for Valparaiso.
Here come the Vikings again on the pitch back. Swinging around the left side is Matt Handlin. He was 6'3", 210 pounds. He's a handful as a senior, but Foster handled him that time, and Foster's only 5'11", 163. There's number 31, Matt Handlin. Matt is Mr. Football finalist and a running back nominee for some football honors.
Well, stay with us at halftime. We will have a great feature with James Banks of Ben Davis, Dick Dellahan, the head coach, Jerry Baker, spend some time with a couple of special people in Indiana football. We'll have that for you coming up at halftime.
Jason Wren back to pass again. Gets good protection, lobs it up in the air. And there were 3 defenders down there, but almost a completion that time with Jeff Samardzija. Todd Bernard is the guy, one of the guys in the area. Demko, number 11 on your screen right now, Adrian Demko. But take a look at it again.
And as you watch it, you'll see one receiver in the pattern. And he tries to throw it to lead him. The defensive players didn't really know where the ball was, but he couldn't get around one of the defenders to get a hand on it.
It was Demko, who has caught 8 passes coming into this championship game.
We saw Delta have some success in that 4A game by sneaking somebody out of the backfield after the big rushes. And let's see if Valparaiso can't find another receiver.
They're down in 7. Wren finds some time and gets Demko this time down to the 30-yard line. Good enough for the first down. Well, nice job that time by Jason Wren because he had the outstretched arms of Todd Bernard and other guys all over him, and he still managed to get the pass away. Nice catch by Adrian Demko.
Folks, visit Oaken Barrel, award-winning restaurant, and enjoy great food and friendly service in a casual atmosphere. Located on Main Street in Greenwood, the Oaken Barrel is open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week.
15-yard pickup on that pass play. Mark Hoffman sends in 4 fresh bodies. We'll see how he does the substitution patterns as the game sets up. There's the switch now. Strong side to the left side of the power eye. Here comes the pitch back again to Demko. And maybe 2, maybe 3 yards on that play. And Jeff Jones, the middle linebacker, and defensive end Mike Richardson combined on the tackle that time. There's a good look at Handlin on your screen, number 31. This kid's a heck of a rusher. 282 carries for 1,787 yards and 30 touchdowns this year. Handlin's in the backfield. Here's a handoff to the David Blythe, who comes hard to this side. The play is still alive, I believe. The penalty marker went down. The ball is picked up and going down to the 1-yard line. I got to check that. I think that's John Maddox, the left guard, who picked up the football.
That's old Fumblerooski. No, it wasn't really.
It wasn't intended to be. It is 52. It's John Maddox, a 5'10", 250-pound senior. Now watch this again. There are penalty flags that will be thrown here, and some of the players just kind of stop. Now here we got a face mask right about here, and the penalty marker goes down, and then the ball goes free, and it's picked up by Maddox.
And Maddox is blocked for me, fellas. Watch this. All those wind sprints at the end of practice. This is my chance. Oh, they've tackled me at the 1-yard line.
Well, that is close. He's almost in the end zone. Would that have been a thrill for that young man, John Maddox?
He's trying to get Mark Hoffman to ask for a replay once to see if he was in.
Well, there's Big Potts at the line right now. Ben Potts is 6'4", 265 pounds. Maddox saves the day and gets it down inside the 1-yard line.
Big play right there for Valparaiso. Whistle now going to whistle the ball ready for play.
So it's 1st and goal inside the 1. Quarterback keeper.
Looks like he didn't break the plane, so it'll be 2nd down and goal. Folks, Shelby Upholstery has been taking care of people's needs since 1932. At Shelby Upholstery, there's a complete interior design without the cost of an interior designer. That's Shelby Upholstery, 3136 West 16th Street. Give them a call at 631-8911. Shelby Upholstery.
Now that line goes back to the line of scrimmage, setting up with Jason Wren. He has rushed for 9 touchdowns this year. Let's see if Wren keeps it himself again. He will, and he gets the touchdown.
One-yard run for Wren.
Jason Wren's 10th rushing touchdown. He had 103 carries for 298 yards coming into this championship game. Here's a look at it again. He just goes right up over the top here.
A little bit of a gap. Right over the back of the center. You got Submarine, went down low, and he's able to get in.
Joya will attempt the point after. Snap is back. Hold us down. Kick is up, and it is good. Tie ball game. 7 minutes, 7 seconds of playing time remain in the first half. The Big School 5A championship is on the line. Valparaiso was just tied the BD Giants at 7. Back in a moment on the IHSAA Television Network.
The PBS 56 member card is better than ever. For a $60 donation to Channel 56, you will receive the WYIN Channel 56 member card. This card is good for 2-for-1 dining in many area restaurants in Indiana and Illinois, and the list is growing daily. Even if you've subscribed to 56 before, you won't want to miss the great deals you'll receive with the member card. And if you like to travel, the member card is good in many locations across the United States and Canada. Simply call the member card services number to receive your benefits. You can also use your member card for great deals at attractions in Indiana and Illinois. Don't pass up this opportunity for 2-for-1 deals with the WYIN member card. Yours for a $60 donation to PBS 56.
I'm Alan Hari, president of Valparaiso University. On behalf of the 6 colleges and universities of Northwest Indiana that sponsor the Quality of Life Council, I invite you to watch QLC Talk of the Region. This program airs the second Friday and Sunday of each month. It focuses on issues important to the quality of life in our region. Please join us for this important program. Thank you.
This is the RCA Dome in downtown Indianapolis. There's your scoring drive. 7 plays, 47 yards. Took a little over 2.5 minutes for Valparaiso to tie this football game at 7 apiece.
Yeah, you get a chance to look at the big play in the drive. It was the turnover by Ben Davis. And then the play by Alpo. They tried to do a little end around. There's the face mask. But no question about that. James Banks pulls the ball loose as the ball carrier goes down and is picked up by the fleet-footed John Maddox, who has every lineman's dream, a chance to score a touchdown, and will give the touchdown officially certainly to the quarterback, Jason Wren, by way of John fleet-footed Maddox.
Could be a thrill for the young man.
Absolutely.
August Davenport was one of those deep on the kickoff return. All 3 of the Ben Davis receivers literally standing inches apart. Now they break away and cover the threesome. It's a little bit of a pooch kick, and that's going to be an onside kick, and it's recovered by Valparaiso. What a terrific play. It caught Ben Davis totally off guard. Jeff Samardzija, the strong side cornerback, picks it up. What a perfect kick. I mean, a beautiful onside kick. It was it goes down as an onside kick, Bob, but mainly a little pooch kick. He just found an open area out there.
Well, and the linemen so often look at, as the ball's in the air, the Ben Davis linemen are turning to go set up the return. One man sees it, the back man sees it, but it comes down, and look at Samardzija, say, that's jump ball, I've got it, and we've got the football back. So, again, the best way to keep the ball out of the end zone for Ben Davis is keep it out of the hands of James Banks. And
that's a great play.
Great play.
7:07 to go in the first half. The clock didn't tick off any time because of the recovery over there. So now Ben Davis has to put their defensive unit back out on the field. Trying to get it all. Here's the interception by Ben Davis. It is picked up by number 7, Charles Harris, your cornerback in that area. So 2 quick turnovers, if you will, and Charles Harris picking up his first interception.
Well, they got it right back, and the net result of this, Jerry, is they're going to get the ball out where they would have on a normal kickoff return. So Valparaiso really not hurt that much, but momentum certainly had put on a green jersey there for a moment. And give credit to Mr. Harris for coming back and making a big play, and that's Charles Harris, who's done that a lot this year.
They were trying to go to John Kreisa, and I thought a wise choice. You kind of got Ben Davis back on their heels a little bit. Try to pick them all up at once if you possibly can. Valparaiso with 2 turnovers. Ben Davis has turned the ball over 1 time. Here's Banks. James running, takes the pass, now will hang on to it. Here's where he gets dangerous. He'll try to outrun 1 man. He will not get that. Well, yes, he will. He'll hang on to the football and get back to about the 24. Actually lost yardage. Ryan Story, number 41, finally there to drag him down. He had all kinds of bodies on him, including the weak side cornerback, Dustin Bowe. But nobody could bring him down until Story finally got the job done. And he still lost yardage.
And another case of James Banks running 50 yards to lose 2. Looks downfield. We thought maybe he was penned in there. Pretty good angle right there. And here comes the help. And they need some troops here. Story finally able to drag him down.
A loss of 1 will make it 2nd down and 11. Blakey's the man in motion. And a procedure call again against Ben Davis. Now this is, if you have watched BD play over the years, very much unlike them. They are a very disciplined team. And to see these kind of mistakes, a little unusual.
White 66, move. That's 5.
Folks, tonight's game is brought to you in part by Mutual Federal Savings Bank of Muncie, with 6 convenient locations to serve your banking needs. Whether it's savings, checking, or car loan, you can count on their friendly staff to assist you. In the Delta High School area, stop by their North Broadway branch. Mutual Federal Savings Banks, member FDIC.
Here the official signify that Joe Spinks, the tackle on that side of the line, had made a movement. And what he did, they tossed the flag for the procedure call. 2nd down, 16. 5:48 to go here in the half. Banks. 1, 2, 3, 4 green shirts. Make it 5 green shirts all over him. They are focused strongly on James Banks. Wherever he goes, he's got company.
And it's not because they read our pregame key players. It's because he's just had such a great career. But watch the ball come loose here. This almost winds up being a turnover as Banks gets hit. And right there, the ball actually kicked out of his hands. Pretty accurate kick there by Story.
You got that right. Ben Tritle is the guy that made the tackle. Garrett Gray, number 40. That linebacker was also in there putting pressure on James Banks that time. So now it's 3rd down and 21. Nothing has gone right on this drive for the Giants. And Valparaiso backing them up deep in their own territory. Man in motion is Zach Rainey. Banks is going to throw it in that direction, and it is intercepted, I believe. Yes, it is. Valparaiso with the pick at the 33. We think Jeff Samardzija is the guy that got the football.
Well, certainly one of the guys we talked about in our pregame as being a guy not only could do it on special teams, recovering the onside kick, but from his cornerback location. And again, the concentration here to get your feet down inbounds. Tremendous.
And now another turnover. We've seen 3 miscues in the last 5 minutes, and although that first one was not necessarily a miscue with the kickoff by Valparaiso, did a marvelous job of the onside kick and then having the pass intercepted. Now they return the favor, and Valparaiso has the football. They'll try the middle of that line, and they'll get maybe a yard or 2. Mad scramble with the football for a moment. I thought there might have been another fumble there. Not the case, is John Polston, the linebacker, in there to make the stop.
TGI Fridays downtown location is at 501 West Washington Street across from Victory Field. TGI Fridays serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week starting at 6 a.m.
Valpo had to beat 3 of the top 10 teams to get here. Number 10 Portage, 32-14 in the sectional. Second-ranked Penn in the regional, 24-21 in overtime. And then they destroyed the number 7 or number 6 team, Fort Wayne Snyder, 45-13 of the semi-state.
If they had any butterflies in their belly to start the game, they're gone now. They're handling Ben Davis pretty well.
Wren keeps a couple of his guys back to defend him. Here's the screen play. They'll get it across the 30. And the penalty marker is down. Ben Davis is reacting, though. It's going to be against Valparaiso. James Banks, the cornerback on your screen, makes the stop that time. We'll see what the call is. It's a clipping call against Valparaiso.
Well, the first half clock continues to click down. 3:56 left to go. And see on the replay here, we'll see the penalty. The screen pass is well set up. And right there, number 10 Banks got pushed in the back. That might have been Samardzija.
Couldn't tell who it was, but he got him for sure. And the reaction from Ben Davis's Charles Harris indicated that in a hurry.
Before you price your next auto parts purchase, see Bob's Auto Parts in Elwood first. Bob's Auto Parts, 1900 North D Street, is locally owned and operated with a knowledgeable staff ready to serve you. Bob's Auto Parts takes great pride in supporting local schools in the community. They also sponsored our 3A feature for this year's broadcast.
2nd and 22. Wide open receiver at the 35, down inside the 30-yard line. That's Jeff Samardzija. Banks is over there to defend him with help from Josh Foster. Boy, Jeff Samardzija was absolutely all by his lonesome at about the 30-yard line, and Glenn got it to him in a hurry. So they are back into the positive yardage area now with a 3rd down coming up in about 7. There's Mark Hoffman, 25th year at Valparaiso, 168 wins, 113 losses. Spent a year at Connersville, went 2 1/8 there. The career mark of 170 and 121, 15-yard pickup that time. And Valparaiso is putting some pressure on Ben Davis right now, both offensively and defensively.
Big 3rd down here for Valparaiso, although they may be in 4-down territory, although Gioia has this kind of range.
Wren is hit from behind and did a terrific job of just hanging on to the football. That's Quentin Wilbert. He has 9 tackles for a loss coming into the game here tonight. And one of the top tacklers overall on this club, and he came busted in from the right end, and nobody put a hand on him.
Mr. Wilburn came ready to play tonight. He's already got a fumble recovery, and look, he beats it.
Yeah, he did get hit. You're right. Well, Wren did a good job, Bob, of just hanging on to the football.
Well, 4th down and about 13 yards to go. And they have their punter in there, John Kreise, but I don't think Ben Davis is going to trust the green-clad Vikings on any count tonight.
You don't think they pull a fast one on him, do you? Kreise is standing on the 49-yard line. Here is the snap back. He kind of bounced it back, and Kreise will drive it, I think, into the end zone. He will. So they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line, and Ben Davis's offensive unit will come back on the field. The pass interception by Valparaiso. Jeff Samardzija could not be turned anything. A 35-yard punt nets out at 15 when they bring it out to the 20.
Well, we mentioned our only injury so far in the game tonight has been with our official, but we want to remind folks that Methodist Sports Medicine Center, in partnership with Clarion Health, provides sports medicine coverage for more than 20 high schools and is also the official sports medicine provider to the IHSA championship events, providing coverage for 11 colleges, including Butler, Indiana, Indiana State, Indianapolis, and Purdue. Methodist Sports Medicine Center is also the official sports medicine provider for the Colts. Methodist Sports Medicine Center. We keep you in the game.
So the purple and white of Ben Davis. The Giants come back to the line of scrimmage on their own 20-yard line. A little delay in the backfield, running up the middle. About a yard, if that. There's just not much room in the middle when you got Windsor and Yaros and McShane and Bale sitting in there. Big size guys, 228-pound average there, and that takes into account Connor McShane, number 59, who was 6'5" at 278 pounds.
And his grandpa said he'd be watching tonight. We want to say hello to Connor McShane's grandpa. Up there in Valparaiso, proud of his grandson, and should be.
You betcha. Valparaiso and Ben Davis are tied at 7 as we head toward the midway part of this football game with a minute 35 to play. The 5A championship is on the line. Ben Davis has a handful of them. Valparaiso looking for their first. Banks, here's what he does so well. He's got the first to the 40 to 45 midfield. They'll finally run him out of bounds across midfield down around the 45-yard line. Nate Hines finally caught up with him.
When you could see the look on Nate Hines' face as he thought maybe I didn't take enough of an angle. Banks was really stretching out. This is a magnificent athlete, and as you see him get into his stride down the sideline, Hines thinks he's got a pretty good angle, number 2, and he says all I got to do is work the angle. And as he starts to close on him, he's thinking, I got him, do I have him, yeah, I got enough.
32-yard run for Banks. His father played football at Indiana State. Sister Janice is one of the 5 players on the outstanding Ben Davis girls basketball team. Here's the pitch back to the tailback. On the angle, near side, maintains his feet, still running with the football, Garrett Phillips. And Phillips has it across the 40. In fact, they'll mark it down about the 35-yard line. Another first down.
Polson was in at quarterback that time. Banks says he does often during the season when he gets a little winded, they take him out. But Banks was 64 yards rushing on 8 carries. Polson comes in and hands it off to the outstanding running back.
In fact, Phillips, they will use 3 quarterbacks. Banks, of course, will get the majority of the snaps. Polston will come in, and Brock Vanderbush will also come in to the lineup. And Polston's in there right now. We'll take a timeout with 1:03 to play here in the half. Valparaiso and Ben Davis tied at 7. 5A championship coming up here on the IHSAA Television Network.
The PBS 56 member card is better than ever. For a $60 donation to Channel 56, you will receive the WYIN Channel 56 member card. This card is good for 2-for-1 dining in many area restaurants in Indiana and Illinois, and the list is growing daily. Even if you've subscribed to 56 before, you won't want to miss the great deals you'll receive with the member card. And if you like to travel, the member card is good in many locations across the United States and Canada. Simply call the member card services number to receive your benefits. You can also use your member card for great deals at attractions in Indiana and Illinois. Don't pass up this opportunity for 2-for-1 deals with the WYIN member card. Yours for a $60 donation to PBS 56.
I'm Alan Hari, president of Valparaiso University. On behalf of the 6 colleges and universities of Northwest Indiana that sponsor the Quality of Life Council, I invite you to watch QLC Talk of the Region. This program airs the second Friday and Sunday of each month. It focuses on issues important to the quality of life in our region. Please join us for this important program. Thank you.
We're back at the RCA Dome in Indianapolis, knotted up at 7 apiece just before halftime. I want to remind you to visit Dugan Chevrolet Pontiac at their new facility at Prestwick Crossing in Avon. They have over 200 new units and 100 used units available for you to give a test drive or take a look at. A modern facility with the latest technology to take care of your needs. Dugan Chevrolet Pontiac in Avon. Call them at 745-6444 or stop by for a test drive. It's supposed to be nice tomorrow. A little bit rainy tonight, although the weather's been great here in the Dome.
Yeah, if it's raining, would you mind going to get your car and come and pick me up? I don't like to get wet. Banks is back in at quarterback now. Saw John Polston in there for one play. Bob pointed out you're liable to see Banks anywhere in the offensive or defensive lineup, so it doesn't surprise me when Polston's in there. The man in motion, Garrett Phillips. Banks fakes, pumps it, heads it toward the end zone. Got a receiver out there. It is caught. Touchdown! Boy, that pump fake put the defenders back on their heels, and there's the touchdown reception. You got it right there. It's Zach Rainey. Hines was the guy who had him covered, and he did a pretty darn good job of it, but nothing they could do about it.
Well, that ball was right on the numbers. Hines even looked up and saw the ball coming. He said, well, let me see what I can do about knocking this away. And before he could, it was wrapped up by Rainey and drags him right into the end zone. Touchdown, Ben Davis.
35 yards on the pass reception. Point after coming up now. And Ben Davis trying to stretch that lead out as Casey Huffman, who was 54 of 59 on this point after. It is up. It is good. So Rainey, who had caught 19 passes for 200 yards and 1 touchdown coming into the championship game, put 7 more on the board, or 6 more on the board for his cause. And there's your score as we head toward the halftime mark, 56 seconds from now.
Great throw by James Banks. Folks, A&R Erectors on the west side of Indianapolis specializes in machinery, moving and rigging, overhead crane installation, structural fabrication, and millwright work. For more information, call Ben Davis graduates Rick Warren and Dan Hoffman at 317-271-3429 or visit them on the web at www.arerectors.com. Scoring drive for Ben Davis, 80 yards in just 4 plays, took 1 minute and 14 seconds, and that's just the danger of this Giant ball club. Outstanding work by the quarterback, and there's some of his fans. James Banks, he is special. We'll see more about him coming up at halftime. Larry Baker, I know you spent some time with he and Coach Dick Bellingham, but more importantly, anything he ever does on the field, he's just an outstanding young man.
There is one play we will show you. There are 2 plays, one from the semi-state, but one that he performed in the regional against Warren Central that you will not believe. He's back to punt the football, and I think everybody knows the story now. He takes it in for a touchdown, but it's just amazing.
He had a great run at Penn High School as well in the punt return, one that was negated by the penalty, but we showed it over and over again. He's just in awe of the young man, his talent.
So here comes the kickoff. Less than a minute to play here in the first half. A whistle will stop the play. No play. Penalty marker is down. And I'm not sure what this is all about. Offside, they're indicating to Valparaiso.
The seldom called offside. Well, the kickoff. Now he's saying it's against.
Now he's saying
Ben
it's one of the officials indicated Valparaiso, but the referee indicated Ben Davis.
Well,
so we'll go with him. He's got the white hat.
And while they regroup, we can tell you we want to remind you to dial Dyson, your Lennox dealer located on West Michigan Street in Indianapolis. Enjoy year-round economy with a Lennox high-efficiency gas furnace and air conditioner. Dyson truly cares and offers the best heating value, plus having many Ben Davis graduates to serve you. Call them at 634-4550. Dyson, servicing Central Indiana for over 50 years.
3-men are deep now for Valparaiso. One of those is David Blight. The other is 24, Matt Meyer, and the other is Dan Wiggins. Out to the 35-yard line, and a big train wreck right about there. And Mike Richardson for Ben Davis makes the tackle.
That ain't right.
On 24, Matt Meyer.
Man, I tell you, what a hit by Mike Richardson. And that's what, Jerry Baker, as you know, you're on the sidelines at a pro football game. One thing that's really scary is the kickoffs and special teams. The guys come down and just explode on each other. Mike Richardson just put a real whooping on the ball carrier.
Well, special teams players are special players, I'll guarantee you that. Wren's going to try to get something, fires it up for grabs, and it is caught. Did he get it in bounds? No, he did not. A nice-looking catch that time by John Quisa, but he came down out of bounds. Charles Harris provided the coverage that time along with Josh Foster. You'll see again that he does not get his feet down or 8 foot down in bounds.
Pretty good effort, pretty good throw. And this is what Valparaiso offers you. Remember, they trailed the Penn Kingsmen 21-7 in the fourth quarter and had enough offense. Boy, that looked like a knee.
Ooh, you know what?
There.
You know what? He may have gotten that knee down now that I see the replay. And you'll hear the crowd react. They're showing our television coverage up on the big boards here in the RCA Dome. So they're seeing everything that you're seeing at home. And that might have been a completed pass. Little delay in the backfield this time to Matt Handlin again. Handlin getting nowhere to go. And Quentin Wilburn, the defensive end, who has one fumble recovery tonight, comes in to make that stop.
Shall we say the Viking fans were less than pleased? Get another look at it here. Of course, we have the gift of slow motion.
Yeah.
And what the official might have seen also, maybe the possession wasn't complete by the time the knee touched down. So
well, he was right on top of the play. He was in perfect position. It's one of those bang bang calls. You don't have any time to think about it or show it in slow motion as we do, so you got to go with it.
And that's one of the things about the officials in these tournaments. They're here on their merit, and what is especially gratifying to them is get a chance to work a state final. Many of these guys labor for years before they get a shot here, and they're not here because they're lucky. They're here because they've earned it. So we've had great officiating throughout the whole tournament.
Ben Davis will take a timeout. We have 8 seconds to play here in the half. Again, a reminder as you look at Dick Dullahan in his 18th year at BD, 189-36. Big halftime feature on that man and John on Banks also. James Banks coming up at halftime.
The Merit Shop is changing the way construction is done in Indiana. Merit Shops employ 2 out of every 3 construction workers in Indiana. Merit Shops are winning awards for the safest job sites and the best trained workers. The Associated Builders and Contractors education and training efforts are industry known, contractor driven, future oriented. So call the Associated Builders and Contractors at 800-333-9844 to see how the next generation of construction workers will be trained. The number again, 1-800-333-9844. Merit Shop, not only the better way to build, but the safest way to build.
Tim Borp, our stat monster, who does a lot of numbers, since he counted the players. Ben Davis only had 10 out there, so he called timeout.
Not a bad idea.
If you count to 10, we know that anyway. So Wren will take one more crack at it. He might get 2 plays in here, but it'll depend on what kind of a pass pattern. He's not going to pass it. He'll clip it back in the backfield where the ball is Handlin. Handlin on the left side will get out of bounds, and there's 2 seconds left now. Olston runs him out. So the final play of the first half is coming up.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Mutual Federal Savings Bank of Muncie, with 6 convenient locations to serve your banking needs. Whether it's savings, checking, or a car loan, you can count on the friendly staff to assist you. In the Delta High School area, stop by their North Broadway branch. Mutual Federal Savings Bank, member FDIC, and approved by Jerry Baker Incorporated.
12-yard run that time, and Valparaiso will talk things over right now. They will take the timeout. Their head coach, Mark Hoffman, comes out of the field to chat with his club, see what kind of magic they might have in their little basket of magic for the final play. There is Mark. Won 7 sectionals, 4 regionals, couple of semi-states. He was an assistant at Valparaiso on the 1975 3A state championship team. Back in 75, they were winners over Carmel, 14-13. And Mark was an assistant to head coach Tom Stokes. They were 12-0 that year.
Give him a lot of credit. He schedules the Penn Kingsman every year. It's a good test for both schools. It's a good gate for both schools. But more importantly, he thinks it's the way you should do it. You should have the best teams meet, and he certainly is eager to do that. They give everybody a great treat, especially early in the season, as do Ben Davis and Penn, as they've been meeting the last few years.
Now, Ben Davis played Penn, and they're in Ben Davis' second game of the season this year. So Penn opens up with Valparaiso, and
pretty good test.
Ben Davis find out pretty quick what kind of a club you got.
They went 2-0. No, they went 1-1.
Here's your final play of the first half. Wynn trying to find somebody, fires it upfield. It'll be intercepted about the 7-yard line. Now here's the pitch back. Now let's see what happens. Is that Banks at the football? Yes, it is. Look out. Here is Banks up the middle. Banks at the midfield stripe. But the pass interception was taken down, I believe, by Foster, and that would be his 4th interception of the season. And almost looked like a set play where he tosses it back to Banks, and Banks gets it out to the midfield stripe.
Boy, I'll tell you what, that might have been one of the best passes of the night. Had Banks run that in for a touchdown. Watch the left-handed throw. You talk about presence of mind, and I don't know, maybe they talked about this. If they air one out and we make the pick, let's get the ball to James. Because he takes about 3 steps and says, "Where you at, partner?" There you are. Man alive. That's the way Dennis Casey used to throw him. Like Banks ran out of gas a little bit there on that return. Wow.
That's so typical of this Ben Davis team, though. Greg Rakestraw is down on the sideline. And he has found the coach, Mark Hoffman. Let's go down to Greg.
Coach Mark Hoffman joining us. Your thoughts on how your team played in the first half?
Well, we played okay. We didn't play up to our capabilities. We're a lot better than that. We should have put one in there. We fumbled on a 1-yard line at first and go. And defensively, we've got a couple of plays. But then again, we're going against James Banks, and he's quite a player. But our kids are playing hard, and this is still a ball game, so we're still in it.
And this is familiar territory. You're down 21-7 to Penn, so you got to feel good about the way your team's going to react to this situation.
This is better than Penn because we're not at Penn. We're at the Dome, and it's 14-7.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
Thank you.
Mark Hoffman, head coach of the Valparaiso Vikings. Like you said, when he was at the state finals 26 years ago, a little bit of a different atmosphere. Guys, back to you.
And nice another note on Valparaiso's Mark Hoffman. He has been a health teacher for, seems like forever, I guess, up at that school up there.
Great addition to the staff over there. And I'll tell you what, he has to feel pretty good. You come in here, you're taking on Ben Davis on their home field. They got a good win.
Halftime coming up, 14-7 BD.
These days.
Local broadcast of the Indiana Class 5 state championship game between the Valparaiso Vikings and Indianapolis Ben Davis High Schools is made possible by grants from the people of First United Methodist Church of Valparaiso, a servant community of Jesus Christ located at 103 North Franklin Street across from the public library.
I hope this finds you. I think of you every day. I miss being asked for my advice and loving you enough to always tell you the truth. I'm still here, you know. When you need me, when you're ready. Love always. God.
Our hearts, our minds, and our doors are always open. The people of the United Methodist Church.
And Von Tobel Lumber and Hardware, voted one of the best home centers in Northwest Indiana, supplying building materials and services to professional contractors and do-it-yourself consumers. Von Tobel Lumber and Hardware proudly supports Valparaiso High School athletics and has served the Valparaiso community for over 35 years.
There is one more title to be decided in the Indiana High School Championships, and it's a Class 5A battle. We're at halftime. Ben Davis Giants lead Valparaiso's Vikings 14-7. You know, it's not often you come across a young man with as much natural talent as our next guest. James Banks of Ben Davis has proven himself on the field. For the last 3 years, he's been coached by the legendary Dick Dullahan, and the two have created quite a bond. Jerry Baker had a very special visit with the coach and his student.
Sheb Woolley sang about the Purple People Eaters. Dick Dullahan coaches the Purple People Beaters because all they do is beat people. The Ben Davis Giants ranked number 8 nationally in USA Today Super 25 high school poll. Number 10 is Mr. Football favorite James Banks. He is the key Purple People beater, although 6-time state champion coach Dick Dullahan knows it takes an entire team.
I've had an excellent group of leaders on my senior class. Jeff Jones, Joe Spinks, and James Banks have been our co-captains. Been an unselfish group of kids. We've really bonded well, and it's been easy for the coaches for the most part because the seniors have taken care of making sure that things didn't go wrong.
IU's Antoine Randall has captured the imagination of the nation the last 3 years because of his double threat ability from the quarterback position. At the high school level, a 6'3", 191-pound young man from the west side of Indianapolis has also done the same thing. But Banks is not only a talented running and passing quarterback, he also is an outstanding punter, kicker, punt returner, and one hard-hitting cornerback.
Well, being an offensive player, I love offense. That's the only position that's the position I've played the longest. But to go out there and to play defense, it just gives me another mentality, I should say. I get to go out there and, you know, be the animal on defense. Don't have to think too much. Just run around, fly through the football.
His Ben Davis teams have amassed an incredible 32-2 record, including an unbeaten state championship season in 1999. But James knows it was a complete team effort since suiting up his sophomore year.
I've been through 3 years of just Ben Davis football. Bred Ben Davis, lived Ben Davis, and just, you know, for it to be all coming to an end football-wise for me, it's kind of, you know, kind of sad, but then again, I'm looking forward to, you know, going to college and playing.
Head coach Dick Dullahan talks about what makes James Banks so very, very special and the best athlete he has ever coached to date, which includes a lot of folks like Baltimore Ravens' Corey Harris.
He is, and he is the finest total football player that I've ever seen in this state at the high school level. And I have been around for 36 years. And I recruited when I was in Purdue for 3 years, in the state of Florida, in the state of Ohio, in the state of Kentucky. I recruited all over the place. When I was with Army, I recruited for the United States Military Academy. I've seen a lot of football players. And James Banks is a great, great football player. He can do it all. He can run with it. He can throw it. He can catch it. He can kick it. He makes plays on defense. He can hit. Last week, he got 2 big nail candidates in our big nail scheme in terms of big hits on tackles. Interceptions. He's had 4 interceptions returned for touchdowns. And he's only intercepted the ball 6 times. 4 of them went back for a touchdown. He had a quick kick in the game against Warren Central for 64 yards with a guy right in his face. He makes plays. He's just a great, great athlete.
In the regional, what has become known as the play. James Banks turned everyone's head by converting one of the most electrifying plays in Indiana high school football history against Warren Central. James talked about that play.
We see 3 seconds left on the clock, and Jeff Jones, the snapper, he has to hurry up and just snap the ball. And unfortunately, it went over my head. As soon as it went over my head, I was like, oh, my God. You know, if we get stopped right here, you know, they're going to be at about our 10-yard line. So I'm thinking, you know, I got to do something with this ball. So I get the ball. I fake like I'm going to pass, so the dude about to tackle me will jump up in the air thinking he's going to miss me. But then when I fake like I'm going to pass, he jumps right into me, and he hits me. So I think I'm tackled. So I just, you know, keep trying to move my legs, trying to break out the tackle, and I come up and I look up and I'm not on the ground yet. So then I'm like, let's make the first down. So I'm running, trying to outrun all the guys. I see the first down mark. I see I'm going to make it, but it's one guy right there that, you know, might prevent me from making the first down. So I'm like, please, somebody pick him up. And right when I say that, Bo Thompson just makes an incredible block, blindsides the guy. He falls, and right from that block, I just knew I was going to score because it was just nothing but green grass, and I had about 3 other guys blocking for me.
He picked up these blocks and then cut all the way across the field and wound up in the other team's end zone 95 yards away. Then he did it again later when we had another bad snap. He has an ability to see the whole field. And he has very quick feet, and he's a big guy. He's 6'2.5", 6'3", 191 pounds, runs the 40 in 4.55, vertical jumps 32 or 33 inches. He can do a lot of things that the average young man can't do. So James makes things happen.
James Banks, a young man, very influential within the school, but very influenced by the people around him. And James talked about how much of an impact head coach Dick Dullahan has had on him.
Any player would love to be coached by him, I think. He respects everybody, you know, doesn't treat anybody unfair. You know, whatever anybody else is doing, I'm doing, and I probably have to do it harder than they do it. And I just feel like, you know, he's helped me, he's molded me into, you know, the player that I am today. I give all the credit to him, and I respect him a lot. You know, he's like almost my second dad from these 3 years I've been here.
And as we close our thoughts today, some final words from both of these outstanding persons. First off, the quarterback talks about the head coach, James Banks, on his coach, Dick Dullahan.
Hard worker, motivator, just a great person.
And on the other side of the football, Dick Dullahan on James Banks.
God said, you will be good, and he is good.
A couple of guys who can really appreciate the blessings they've both been given, and we're blessed to get a chance to see them here tonight. Ben Davis leading Valparaiso 14-7. Halftime stats and highlights coming up, along with our trivia questions. Stay with us.
WYIN PBS 56 is known by the company it keeps. Your association with PBS 56 tells viewers that you care about quality and the value of local news, high school and college sports, and the best of PBS in Northwest Indiana. To learn how your company can become a PBS 56 underwriting partner, contact Jennifer Vinovich or Paul Barnes at 219-756-5656 during regular business hours. The best TV on TV is PBS.
I'm Alan Hari, president of Valparaiso University. On behalf of the 6 colleges and universities of Northwest Indiana that sponsor the Quality of Life Council, I invite you to watch QLC Talk of the Region. This program airs the second Friday and Sunday of each month. It focuses on issues important to the quality of life in our region. Please join us for this important program. Thank you.
Welcome back to the RCA Dome. We're at halftime. Ben Davis on top of Valparaiso 14-7 the score. Our 5A state championship game, our final game here today. And we've got time for one more Watson's trivia question. And it's been a lot of fun today. We appreciate the support of the folks from Watson's. And our question for the 5A game is, Ben Davis has 2 active players in the pros right now. Who are they? You know who they are? We'll give you the answer here in just a couple of minutes. First of all, we want to check on our statistics here at halftime, and well, they reflect a pretty good football game. The turnovers have been a big factor. And Valparaiso with one more than Ben Davis is really a big difference because they had a fumble at the 2-yard line. Otherwise, we might be knotted up. It's 14-7. Ben Davis leads in rushing 115-83 and passing 79-63, and in total yards 194-146. First downs 9-7 in favor of Ben Davis. The turnovers, as you said, have given the Giants that one more opportunity. Penalties not a real big factor, and that's good. That's the way you'd want it to be in a championship game. And so Ben Davis leading 14-7 and has a similar edge in the numbers. And back once again to our Watson's trivia question. Who are the 2 active players from Ben Davis who are in the pros right now? Well, Morton Anderson is one of them, outstanding kicker of the New York Giants. And Corey Harris of the world champion Baltimore Ravens, a couple of great players. And boy, you got to feel like down the road, James Banks may be taking an active role in that professional game. He's got some great college years ahead of him. We're looking forward to that as well. Here's a look at some highlights from the first half. And again, when you see how much talent is on this field, first of all, a big play here for Valparaiso. They try to run a little bit of an end sweep with David White. Now he has a face mask pulled on him, and then the ball's knocked loose. The official says no, play on. They had a great job by offensive guard John Maddox, who picks up the ball, gets around the end, and says, look at me go. Gets all the way down to the 1-yard line, and Valparaiso got on the board a Jason Wren touchdown from a yard out. Gave Valparaiso 7 points that tied the game at 7-7. And for Ben Davis, they've had some great play again from James Banks. They've also had some great plays on defense, but this offense for Ben Davis is a powerful force. Banks, pump fake, now comes back down the far sideline. And look at the precision of this pass right to the goal line. Touchdown as Zach Rainey pulls it in. 56 seconds to go in the first half, and that has given Ben Davis the 14-7 lead here at halftime. And we've got one more half of football left in the state of Indiana for the year 2001. It'll be a great one. We'll have it for you coming up on the IHSA Television Network.
The PBS 56 member card is better than ever. For a $60 donation to Channel 56, you will receive the WYIN Channel 56 member card. This card is good for 2-for-1 dining in many area restaurants in Indiana and Illinois, and the list is growing daily. Even if you've subscribed to 56 before, you won't want to miss the great deals you'll receive with the member card. And if you like to travel, the member card is good in many locations across the United States and Canada. Simply call the member card services number to receive your benefits. You can also use your member card for great deals at attractions in Indiana and Illinois. Don't pass up this opportunity for 2-for-1 deals with the WYIN member card. Yours for a $60 donation to PBS 56.
I'm Alan Hari, president of Valparaiso University. On behalf of the 6 colleges and universities of Northwest Indiana that sponsor the Quality of Life Council, I invite you to watch QLC Talk of the Region. This program airs the second Friday and Sunday of each month. It focuses on issues important to the quality of life in our region. Please join us for this important program. Thank you.
Jerry Baker back in the booth along with Bob Nagel and the rest of our crew. Greg Rakestraw down on the field has the head coach. Greg.
Thank you very much, guys. And Dick Dullahan joining us from the sidelines. What did you tell your team at halftime, Coach?
Well, we've got to do a better job of controlling the line of scrimmage. Right now, as far as the run game, we're sporadic with the run game. We've got to come off the ball and stay a little lower. We've got to stay on our blocks a little longer, get the backside blocked. They're doing a good job of defending the twin side of our passing game. So we've got to come up with some adjustments there. We made a few adjustments on the blocking schemes up front. I think we'll be okay.
Good, best of luck second half, Coach.
Thank you.
Dick Dullahan, head coach of the Ben Davis Giants. Back to you, guys.
I'm not sure if anything was said on that halftime feature, but Dick and I talked at length. Dick has been battling for the last couple of years prostate cancer. And And he is not at all bashful about talking about it in the respect that men, your age, my age, all men, I guess, should have that checked. And I ran into he and his wife Annette one time at a restaurant in town, and they were. This is the middle of the day, and Antoinette, I should say Antoinette, and they were happy as they could be. And I said, you know, what's going on? I said, we just came back from the doctor, and Dick's platelets are up. That's part of the count. So when we talked with that interview, he talked extensively and was encouraging folks to go out and have that done. So you can see what it's done for him. He's feeling healthy and happy, and of course he's a grandfather now. He's got 5 grandkids. And so he's got something to encourage him to stay alive and healthy. He's just a terrific young man. There's a great story in this morning's Indianapolis Star about Dick and his wife Antoinette and their children Sean and Jeffrey and their 5 grandkids. In fact, his son Jeff played on the 1995 A State Championship team. So Dick is the kind of a guy who loves the game, but has also come to a reality check in the last couple of years.
Well, I'll tell you what, he is quick to talk about that, as you mentioned. And great deal of good in that. He doesn't want anybody else to get a surprise. If you get checked, there are ways to help and treat it. And that's what he's involved with. And well, you know, his dedication to his team, his family, and certainly a cause like that, he's going to do all he can. And well, he's got a football team here with a 14-7 lead. He's probably a little bit disappointed, as he said, in some of the line play, but they're playing a team that has handled Penn High School and Fort Wayne Snyder, and this is a team that didn't get here because of a blind draw or nobody else wanted to play Ben Davis. They earned their way here. They had some moments. Boy, that fumble on the 2-yard line is awfully huge, and will probably stay that way unless they find a way to win the football game. And this way it is in a big game like this. The turnovers favored Ben Davis 3-2, and a lot of those turnovers because of good play, and that's the way you want it. A championship game. We've got 1/2 of football left in the entire state of Indiana in the high school schedule for this year. And Jerry, I tell you, it's been a great day. We've had some great games yesterday and today, and just going to enjoy this. Like you saved the red M&Ms for last, right?
I've got some candy here that we're crunching down on. Could you hear me crunching that away?
They don't taste any different than the other ones, but you wait. Here's another attempt.
And this time handled well. In fact, you can call for a fair catch. I'm not sure it's not what he didn't do that time.
I think he did. I was just getting set to introduce Jerry Baker to call the play-by-play of the second half, and they pooched it on me.
All right, Ben Davis will have the football. They're up 14-7. Second half getting underway because of the fair catch. No time runs off the clock. Ben Davis 14-0. This year they were Metropolitan Interscholastic Conference champs. One of 2 undefeated teams in 5A, Warsaw being the other in regular season. Their 12th regional championship. Hobart holds the record, by the way, with 15. 7th consecutive regional title. The all-time record. Penn is second with 6 straight. And their 8th semi-state championship got them here to the RCA Dome. So Ben Davis on the offensive attack to begin the second half. Again to the tailback, running across the right side out to about the 45-yard line. Dante Hart along with Garrett Phillips, Todd Bernard, Jermel Wharton. That's the foursome, if you will, that fill that slot at the tailbacking spot. That's Dante on your screen. They'll run Brandon Warner, Adam Blakey, Jeff Jones, and Charles Anthony at the fullback spot. They show 4 receivers in August Davenport, Bo Thompson, Zach Rainey, who has a touchdown catch, and Bruce Williams. So they got a lot of bodies to throw at you back there.
Certainly do. And Valparaiso gave up some field position, trying to avoid giving the ball to James Banks on a return situation, and good opportunity for Ben Davis.
Motion on the defensive side of the line, it would appear, unless there was motion on the offensive side that drew him across. Chris Yaros is the guy that moved.
Offside, green, first down.
It is against Valparaiso. That'll march him down, give him a first down.
And better field position, right in the middle of that Indianapolis Colts horseshoe on the helmet. What a great facility. The Colts home on Sunday against the San Francisco 49ers. And this is just a terrific facility. What a thrill for the coaches, players, cheerleaders, band members. Everybody gets a chance to come down here. What a great tournament put on by the IHSAA. And our congratulations to Commissioner Blake Ress.
Saw Blake a while ago. Happy man the way things have gone. Here's the pass, good for about 8 yards out on the far side of the field. Jeff Samardzija is the defensive player in to make the stop that time. Pass on the way to Bo Thompson. In the first half, Ben Davis led in rushing by James Banks, who had 71 yards total. And Banks passed for 79 more on 4 of 6, had 1 interception and 1 touchdown pass. Top receiver Zach Rainey, 1 catch for 34 yards. Nobody caught more than 1 pass, and that gives you an indication how they spread this offense around.
Valparaiso needs to come up with a stop. You don't want to say, as we said earlier, you don't want to get behind by more than a score.
And they'll try the right side this time. And Dante Hart, again, the ball carrier. Mike Drilla, the Viking back, 6-footer, 184, junior. Makes the stop.
A lot of schools have a name for that back. Might be a monster back and kind of a base defense, 5-3 defense.
Well, Ben Davis has the Sam linebacker, the Mike linebacker, the Will linebacker.
Strong, weak, and middle.
Yeah, basically that's what it is, yeah.
No football coach likes to have a weak line.
No.
So they changed the name to Will, Sam, and Mike.
Bo Thompson out to the top of your screens, but wide to the left. Zach Rainey goes out to the right side. And Banks will try to pick it up over the middle on the bit of a draw delay, if you will, and nothing happened. I don't think they got the first down there.
Banks walks right over to Dick Delahan and says, what do you want to run here in 4th down, Coach? We're not punting. And Coach says, we're punting.
Yeah, he's sending John Polston out on the field right now.
I think he's trying to send a message here to his offense. You know, I'm going to give you 3 downs, get a first down. Don't come to me looking to make it on 4th down. They made adjustments in that blocking scheme at halftime. Picked up 1 first down on a penalty.
Well, Polston is in as the protector. And Polston goes up now under center at quarterback. So they're going to go for it on the 4th down, and maybe not. They've still got to hurry. Clock is down to 2, down to 1. They're not going to get it away. They did not get it away. They ran out of time. Or did they call timeout?
The official evidently saying they called timeout.
Well, yeah, they got they got it right when the clock was blinking from 1 to 0, the 25-second clock. So they did get the timeout to avoid the penalty. So we'll take the timeout likewise with 8:43 to go here in the 3rd quarter. 14-7 Ben Davis on the IHSAA television network.
The PBS 56 member card is better than ever. For a $60 donation to Channel 56, you will receive the WYIN Channel 56 member card. This card is good for 2-for-1 dining in many area restaurants in Indiana and Illinois, and the list is growing daily. Even if you've subscribed to 56 before, you won't want to miss the great deals you'll receive with the member card. And if you like to travel, the member card is good in many locations across the United States and Canada. Simply call the member card services number to receive your benefits. You can also use your member card for great deals at attractions in Indiana and Illinois. Don't pass up this opportunity for 2-for-1 deals with the WYIN member card. Yours for a $60 donation to PBS 56.
I'm Alan Hari, president of Valparaiso University. On behalf of the 6 colleges and universities of Northwest Indiana that sponsor the Quality of Life Council, I invite you to watch QLC Talk of the Region. This program airs the 2nd Friday and Sunday of each month. It focuses on issues important to the quality of life in our region. Please join us for this important program. Thank you.
Glad you could join us tonight around the state of Indiana for the 5A championship game. We've already crowned champions in 1 and 2 last night. Earlier today, Chittard a winner in 3A. Jasper won the 4A title, and Ben Davis out on top now with 8:43 to go in the 3rd quarter for the 5A championship game. Some of the Rockwell ladies can see themselves on the big screen. But they're going to go for it on 4th and 1 at the 42-yard line of Valparaiso. James Banks will keep it. Banks will get the first down. Banks will dance inside. Banks may be gone. Kiss it goodbye. James Banks all the way in from 42 yards out.
On a 4th down and 1, they're in a goal line defense, and if you can break the contain in a goal line situation, there's nobody back there. They had everybody up in the box. Watch it again. They fake the ball into the line. Everybody bites on the play fake. There's 6 guys inside. Now if you can get outside, pretty good blocking on the perimeter. Cut back here.
There are 4 green shirts there, Bob.
And there's nobody home. Story gives chase. Samardzija knew it was a useless effort.
James Banks, a Mr. Football finalist and a quarterback and a defensive back nominee. The point after is up, and it is good. And if anybody else wins the Mr. Football this year, and there are some awfully good players in the state of Indiana, if anybody else wins it, well, I'm expecting an investigation, I would think. So it's now 21-7. Ben Davis over Valpo with 8.5 minutes to go in the third quarter on the IHSAA Television Network.
Local broadcast of the Indiana Class 5 state championship game between the Valparaiso Vikings and Indianapolis Ben Davis High Schools is made possible by grants from the people of First United Methodist Church of Valparaiso, a servant community of Jesus Christ located at 103 North Franklin Street across from the public library.
I believe no one who asks for help should be turned away.
I believe it's good to question.
None of us are qualified to judge the lives of others.
I believe a church isn't a building.
When you truly embrace diversity, you embrace God.
I can't believe there's a church that believes these things.
We may not all believe exactly the same thing, but the people of the United Methodist Church believe in God and each other. If you're searching for something to believe in, our hearts, our minds, and our doors are always open.
And Von Tobel Lumber and Hardware, voted one of the best home centers in Northwest Indiana, supplying building materials and services to professional contractors and do-it-yourself consumers. Von Tobel Lumber and Hardware proudly supports Valparaiso High School athletics and has served the Valparaiso community for over 35 years.
You're watching viewer-supported WYIN Gary Maryville.
Over on the sideline, James Banks getting a little stretching from the trainer over there. Over his career, James Banks has 4,989 yards passing. That was coming into the game. 2,217 yards rushing. Last year, he rushed for over 1,700 yards and over 760 yards rushing, and passing was 1,741. He has done about everything a kid can do in a career. Still no word on where he's going to college. That's one of the secrets out there right now. We've heard all kinds of rumors about this school and that school, but when we talked to him the other day, he wouldn't give us any indication exactly what he was going to do.
By the way the trainer was holding him right there is the only way to stop him.
That's right. Put him on his back and twist his leg. Here's Casey Huffman with the kick. It'll be short and taken at about the 15-yard line. With the football on the return, number 1, David Blythe. And Blythe does not get particularly good field position as he had hit and knocked down by Charles Anthony.
Banks is back up and into the game, as no surprise to anybody in particular. Folks, TGI Fridays downtown is located at 501 West Washington Street across from Victory Field. TGI Fridays serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week starting at 6 a.m. and did a great job of helping feed our crew today. Vivian Ferris and Neil, we thank you for taking care of our crew today. Not an easy assignment, but if they can take care of our crew, they can certainly take care of yours. Stop by today.
They're running room on the right side again, out around the 21 or 22 with Todd Bernard. Let's go down to the field. Greg Rakestraw standing by. Greg.
Thank you very much, Jerry. The injury report on James Banks, nothing major. Just simply he's feeling a little tightness, maybe some cramps. They're trying to stretch him, get some water into him. When you play on literally every play, that tends to happen, especially after 15 weeks of the season. Nothing major, just trying to take that long break and get him a little stretch. Back to you guys.
Okay, thank you, Greg. Just watching him out there, he's doing some stretching even while he's out on the field.
Well, it looks like Greg's got a little hamstring, too. He's been on his feet down there for 3 straight games. Hang in there, partner. He's looking.
Out of the shotgun, pass comes out to the near side to David Blythe, and Blythe is knocked out of the 25-yard line.
Well, we could have just got his feet.
Man.
Had a little room to run, but that's a great open field tackle. Another big hit by the Ben Davis defense and John Polston. This kid will be back. We were talking during the break about how many of these Ben Davis Giants will be back next year. And, well, I'll tell you what, that's a scary thought for a lot of teams around the state.
Well, Blythe jumps back up. He hit the ground really hard, but the young man is up, and hopefully he'll be all right. 5'7", 142-pound senior David Blythe. And this time they'll set two wideouts to the right side of the top of your screen. Single setback, two setbacks. Actually, one for the protector back there for Wren. Wren gets the pass away, incomplete, threw it behind the intended receiver, John Kreisa.
Had a little bit of time, but Kreisa had good coverage, and it'll bring up 4th down at about 4 yards to go. You know, really the best offensive play of the night for Valparaiso has been the fumble recovery and run by John Maddox. And I don't say that to make fun of the offense, but really it's been the play that was unexpected, the thing that gave them a chance to get down to the 1 yard line, which led to their only touchdown. You come into a game, you want to dance with who brung you, but right now Valparaiso down by 14 and going to give up the ball on a 4th down. They've got to come up with some plays. They've got to come up with some ideas.
John Kreisa back in his own 12, gets the punt away about the 15-yard line. Nice spiral. Will come out of bounds. We'll see where the official will mark it down. It's going to be good field position for Ben Davis. He'll mark it down to the 45-yard line.
But again, a kick that went out of bounds and didn't give James Banks a chance to touch the football. That is not a mistake. That's what they wanted to do.
30-yard punt, no return that time. There is Banks. He'll be coming out now for the quarterbacking spot.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Mutual Federal Savings Bank of Muncie, with 6 convenient locations to serve your banking needs. Whether it's savings, checking, or car loan, you can count on the friendly staff to assist you. In the Delta High School area, where, by the way, they're very proud of the Delta Eagles. Stop by their North Broadway branch. Mutual Federal Savings Bank, member FDIC.
So Banks brings the squad up to the line of scrimmage. As wideouts to the left and the right, with the tight end set over the left side of the offensive line of scrimmage. Banks dodges one bullet. Swings over to the left side now. Will try to outrun one defender. He'll get the pass away and literally throw it almost up into the stands. Now they're going to mark a flag down there. And let's see. Windsor is the guy. Big Nick Windsor. Number 34 is the fellow that put the defensive pressure that time on Banks and caught him back there. We'll wait for the call from the referee.
Well, we've seen this call a number of times this season on our high school broadcasts, and what the official has to determine is whether you are trying to complete a pass or trying to throw it away. It doesn't matter if there's a receiver in the area. If you were trying not to complete the pass, and that is intentional grounding. And
that's what it is. That's the call. You know, he's in trouble. He dodges one bullet here. Now he takes off, and here comes the pressure we talked about from Nick Windsor. Windsor pretty well gets him wrapped up right here, and James just throws it away. I don't think there's any question he had no receiver in that area out there. And they'll mark it back to the 25-yard line.
You had 90 guys in green jerseys that were open.
Yeah, that's right.
Valparaiso bench.
Well, Ben Davis has been a scoring machine in the tournament. Here's Banks hanging on the football over the right side. 30. 31, 32, up to the 35-yard line. His Ben Davis team is averaging 56.8 points per game in the playoffs. 51 against Pike, 48 Southport, 68 against Decatur Central. They put 56 on the board against Warren Central, and what a lot of us thought was going to be the game of the year, and they won that 56-21 of the regional, and then 61 last week against Evansville Rights.
And it could have been worse.
Probably so.
Tell you what, Evansville Wright's a pretty good football team, and they just pounded lumps on them. And
well, it was 41-0 at halftime. In fact, they kicked it up to 55-0 at one point of the game before Wrights finally put something on the board. Wrights was a pretty good football team.
Absolutely.
5:55 to play, third quarter. Here at the RCA Dome. Banks play action pass. Got a receiver wide open. Could not make the catch. He had it right in the hands of Bo Thompson, and Thompson was about a half a step behind it. He was covered by Dustin Bowe.
Thompson probably could have laid out and maybe caught the ball, but he was trying to catch it and go for 6, and just couldn't run under it. And look at this ball. Can this kid throw in college? You bet he can.
Okay, that's a throw from about, what, the 27 to about, 32 or 33?
You got to catch that ball. Well thrown pass.
5:46 here in the third quarter.
Banks kind of always waiting for a guy to come back on the field.
This is the first time Ben Davis has punted. Banks averages 38.2 yards per punt. He nailed it clear over the head of the of the deep man who fumbles the ball at about the 10, scoops it up the 8-yard line, and is down right there. The deep return man with absolutely nothing he could do about it. I mean, Banks just flat nailed that thing. 58-yard punt.
Dennis Casey checking the record books for maybe another one. That is not the longest. I think the state record belongs to the Penn Kingsman, maybe. David Miller, who's now kicking for Notre Dame.
A lot depends on the role of the football.
Exactly, and that's what happened. It was.
I mean, that's Samardzija back there, thinking, "Oh my goodness!" And that ball literally got away. All right, so Valparaiso will get the football back. Lousy field position for them, and they'll run it up the middle and try to get some running room. They're down 21-7. They've got tons of time left in the football game, Bob. But what scares you if you're a Valpo fan right now is the fact they haven't been able to do anything with the football at all offensively.
Well, they were down 21-7 to the Penn Kingsmen in the fourth quarter about 8 minutes to go at Penn High School. They didn't give up. They won't give up here tonight, but you're right. They do have to do something. They've got to find a way. And again, if you've got a team like Ben Davis, it's coming after you big time and maybe overplaying a little bit. You got to sneak somebody out there underneath, maybe a screen pass or draw, that kind of thing. Try to take advantage of that.
This time, Wren keeps a couple of guys back in the backfield to help him out defensively. He was trying to go to David Blythe that time. James Harris in the area. Keep in mind that Valpo stopped Penn on the 1-yard line twice in that overtime session to get here. So they've got a good resilient defense, but right now their offense can't get the job done against this Ben Davis defense, who, as we mentioned, allowed during the regular season 7.7 points per game. They had 3 shutouts, and in the playoffs you're giving up about 13.5 points a game. 21-7 with 4:51 to go in the third quarter. Valparaiso ball, 3rd down and 8. Up for grabs, not a receiver within 15 yards, completely overthrown, including James Banks. Now the punting situation for Valpo, and they'll be standing in their own end zone.
Valparaiso fans keeping their spirits up, trying to keep their team spirits up.
Here's a look at James. He'll be coming to the near sideline.
They're going to let somebody else return a punt here, and I think that might not be a bad idea, because if Banks is not out there,
it's August Davenport going out there.
August Davenport is back there. They may well kick to him, and he's a very talented return man.
Here's the punt away from just about the goal line. A wobbly punt off the side of the foot, hits at the 36-yard line, and it hits one of the Valparaiso players, so they'll mark it dead back around, what, Bob, the 42-yard line, I believe. It's rolled across midfield, but I think, well, or did it not hit the player? I thought it hit one of the Valpo players.
They've got it marked down here.
They're going to mark it back with the 42 on the other side. Right.
It looked like Tim Story gave it a little bit of a shove, and so the ball will be marked at the 42-yard line, 1st down and 10, and that's just one of the few plays that James Banks has taken off here tonight. And the Valpo fans enjoying themselves. As I said, you come down here to win a state championship, but what a great experience for moms, dads, kids, fans, cheerleaders, pom-poms, and certainly for Dennis Casey, who's done a great job as our executive producer again this year.
He's worn out the elevator up here, down to the field, back up here, down in the field. They ask him to find a spot and sit down. 32-yard punt that time for Valparaiso. Not bad, considering it would have been an even better punt by about 15 yards had it not touched one of the Valparaiso players. So Ben Davis will start in Valparaiso territory again. Adam Blakey is the fullback. Here's the pitch back deep. They swing the right side. Little running room out there for Jermel Wharton. And Wharton gets it down around the 40, maybe down to the 39-yard line, where the defensive tackles of Chris Yaros and Connor McShane combine to make the stop.
We're kind of seeing that trend we saw with the Jasper game and the Jasper win in the Class 4A championship game. Ben Davis offense has been out there a lot here in the second half. The Valparaiso defense, they have a couple players that go both ways, but the defense has been out there a lot. You start to wear down. This is a tough environment to play in. It's a very dry environment, and I get the feeling Valparaiso's defense either needs to be aggressive and make a play if they continue to get beat down by this Ben Davis offensive line, and the great running backs, and of course chasing James Banks all night is tough.
And here is Banks, and they'll chase him right up to the line of scrimmage, and James may be getting a yard, but Connor McShane knocks him down. Jasper was a winner earlier today over Delta, 35-20. And Chittard defeated Andrean 3-0. And that is a record.
Check that again, Jerry. That must be a miss.
No, we sat through that, my friend, if you remember that.
Did we ever?
3-0, the final score, the lowest scoring game in state finals history.
Just part of the history, as you mentioned. This weekend, it's just been unbelievable.
So on a 3rd and 7. Banks out of the shotgun again. Keep a couple of guys back there, one of whom is Dramel Wharton, and the other side was 47 Adam Blakey.
I like that. They made a play.
And it's intercepted. Banks forced the pass, but can he outrun him? Not the case. An interception taken down by number 50. That's Chris Yaros, who has another turnover with a fumble recovery early in the ballgame. Banks, one of those rare mistakes for him. He was under pressure, insisted on throwing the football, saw something that nobody else saw out there, and threw it right into the arms of Chris Yaros.
I'll tell you what I like here, Jerry. We talked about not sitting back and letting them just beat on you. They send a blitz here. Man right up the middle, puts pressure on, and Banks says, well, it's got me wrapped up. I'll just dump it off to the side.
That was Garrett Gray on the blitz.
Trying to get the ball to his wide receiver. And I tell you what, Dramel Wharton was open, but the linebacker came in, made the play. Big break for Valparaiso.
It's about a 33-yard return on the interception that time from Chris Yaros. Now it's Valparaiso's turn to maybe put some pressure on Ben Davis. If they can march this thing in there with 2:40 to go here in the 3rd quarter, wow, they're still in this football game.
Very much so. And how about the two biggest yardage plays for Valparaiso, Maddox and Yaros?
I'd like to check Matt Hanlon's numbers if we can. Hanlon is one of the guys I thought we might see a lot of today. Matt Hanlon. We'll check Matt Hanlon's rushing numbers and yardage here in a second. He had rushed for 1,787 yards coming into the game, and I don't feel like we called his name very much today. Here's the give in the backfield to him, just as we talk about it. 13 carries, 51 yards, and as I recall, he had those 51 yards early on in this game, so he's not seen much action as far as the runner is concerned for this Valparaiso offensive unit.
A little bit of a draw play there, kind of a delay play, and again, trying to take advantage of Ben Davis over pursuing. Pretty good run inside, brings up 3rd down and a short 5 yards.
Well, let's see if Valparaiso can work this thing in an important 3rd down scenario now with 1:40 to play here in the 3rd. Whistle before the play gets underway.
Well,
it could be a call against Valparaiso again.
Looked like Adam Vale might have jumped early. The setback on the right side. They brought in about 4 backs that time, trying to create that opportunity for that pitch sweep. It's almost a preset student body right that Valparaiso likes to run in that situation. And it'll be 3rd down and 9 yards to go. But again, you got to feel like we're probably in 4-down territory.
So.
They've got to come up with a touchdown. They don't want to go in the 4th quarter trailing by 2 scores. Although, as we said, they did against Penn. And Mark Hoffman continues to work his offense as best he can. He got a big play from his defense. Let's see if they can capitalize on it.
Well, a 3rd down and basically 10. Back to throw is Wren. Wren's got a receiver, completed, 1st down. The pass complete to Jeff Samardzija, the 6'4" junior, the receiver out there. And he will get the 1st down. They'll move the chains, and now Valparaiso's got a little time, a little room to work with up here.
Great play, and you know they've got to go to Samardzija. He's one of the big play guys. Goes a nice route. Wren buys a little bit of time. Makes the completion. James Banks. Well, they're turning back in. They were able to make the tackle.
15-yard pickup. Jason Wren at quarterback as a 1-yard touchdown run for the only score of the day for Valparaiso. Over the right side is Matt Hanlon. Hanlon gets it inside the 5, down to around the 3-yard line. Hit down there by Charles Harris, the cornerback in the area. Now the ground yardage gets a little more difficult to handle with inside the red zone down there. Everything's kind of squeezed up a little bit. Here's a look at it again.
Good burst up front by the offensive line. Good chance to cut back there, and a nice run down to about the 4-yard line. I think Valparaiso would mind taking a few more seconds off this clock, give their defense a chance to rest as well.
Back to the line of scrimmage again, Matt Handlon.
Might have picked up one, depending where they mark it, just inside the 4-yard line. And that may be the last play of the fourth quarter. They could use the rest. The Valparaiso Vikings have been pounded on by Ben Davis here in the second half, but they still have certainly a pulse. 21-7 the score.
That is going to be it. Clock will wind down. They will not bother to run the play. We've gone through 3 quarters of the 5A championship game at the beautiful RCA Dome. We'll take a break. Fourth quarter is coming up. It's BD 21, Valpo 7 on the IHSAA television network.
The PBS 56 member card is better than ever. For a $60 donation to Channel 56, you will receive the WYIN Channel 56 member card. This card is good for 2-for-1 dining in many area restaurants in Indiana and Illinois, and the list is growing daily. Even if you've subscribed to 56 before, you won't want to miss the great deals you'll receive with the member card. And if you like to travel, the member card is good in many locations across the United States and Canada. Simply call the member card services number to receive your benefits. You can also use your member card for great deals at attractions in Indiana and Illinois. Don't pass up this opportunity for 2-for-1 deals with the WYIN member card. Yours for a $60 donation to PBS 56.
I'm Alan Hari, president of Valparaiso University. On behalf of the 6 colleges and universities of Northwest Indiana that sponsor the Quality of Life Council, I invite you to watch QLC Talk of the Region. This program airs the second Friday and Sunday of each month. It focuses on issues important to the quality of life in our region. Please join us for this important program. Thank you.
IHSAA State Football Championships are brought to you in part by Methodist Sports Medicine. Play hard. We'll take care of the rest. And by our friends in Terre Haute at Indiana State University, the way college is supposed to be. Well, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. 12 more minutes of high school football. And right now, Valparaiso, this could be do-or-die situation for Valparaiso right now. 3rd and goal at about the 5-yard line. Wren thinking about running it in, tries to pass anyway. Coverage in that area by James Banks as they try to go right at the pylon deep in the corner down there to number 3, Jeff Samardzija.
Another one of those timing routes, and that time the ball thrown just a little bit out of Samardzija's reach. And it'll bring up a 4th down and 4.
They're running in a field goal unit here.
Well, Joya is almost automatic.
He is a terrific field goal kicker, or point after kicker, and field goal. And a 27-yarder in overtime against Penn in the first game of the season, or in the regional, I should say. Out of the hold of Mike Grilla. It is up, and boy, you're right, Bob, right on the money. He just bangs that through there. So they've got 3 more, and it makes it 21-10. 21-yard field goal. And now with 11:52 to go in the ball game, it's 21-10. Ben Davis over Valparaiso. 5A championship on the line on the IHSAA television network.
WYIN PBS 56 is known by the company it keeps. Your association with PBS 56 tells viewers that you care about quality and the value of local news, high school and college sports, and the best of PBS in Northwest Indiana. To learn how your company can become a PBS 56 underwriting partner, contact Jennifer Vinovich or Paul Barnes at 219-756-5656 during regular business hours. The best TV on TV is PBS.
I'm Alan Hari, president of Valparaiso University. On behalf of the 6 colleges and universities of Northwest Indiana that sponsor the Quality of Life Council, I invite you to watch QLC Talk of the Region. This program airs the second Friday and Sunday of each month. It focuses on issues important to the quality of life in our region. Please join us for this important program. Thank you.
Bench over there, a couple of their outstanding players. 7-play drive, or 7 plays on the drive with 21 yards covered, 259. They settled for the 21-yard field goal from Carl Joya. And Bob and I were talking during the break. That means, Bob, that puts them in a 2-scoring situation. Had they been able to go for the touchdown, that would have changed things dramatically.
Well, they've used that boots kick a couple times here today. Maybe we'll try that again, see if they can get another possession.
I would think also that Valparaiso is going to have to find some way to get the ball to number 3, Jeff Samardzija. He had 52 catches for 1,155 yards coming into the game today. He has caught the ball twice for a total of 30 yards.
Well, it's been an effective kickoff attempt. Let's see what happens here.
This time they'll bang it deep, taken back at the 5-yard line. And out just shy of the 15. And that's where Ben Davis goes to work after the tackle made by Garrett Gray on the Valpo side of the line.
You know, Mark Hoffman very proud of his defense this year. And one of the things you think about in that situation, you say, well, let's say we score a touchdown. We go for it on 4th down and score a touchdown. We're down 21-14. If we don't stop them, it doesn't matter anyway. So if we're going to stop them, let's get 3 points here, stop them, and then have a chance maybe to win the game on a field goal. They've got another tie the game maybe on a field goal. They need 11 points, a touchdown, a 2-point conversion, a field goal. Still gives them an opportunity. I think what Mark Hoffman wanted to do more than anything was just get some points on the board. They haven't scored since early in the first half.
Banks gives the ball to the tailback, who's knocked out of the 11-yard line. Well, everything is predicated upon the ability of Valparaiso's defensive unit to put a stop on Ben Davis. If Ben Davis drives it up the field, eats up the clock, and gets the score, then basically school is out, even though there's 11 and a half minutes to go in this game. So the defensive unit will have to step up big time right now. Valparaiso's unit allowing 9.3 points per game in the regular season. Toss in the playoffs, they averaged 13.6 defensively in those 5 playoff games, giving up a total of 68 points. Banks keeps the football on the bootleg, runs right side, can run out of room. Finally knocked down at the 16-yard line. Did a nice job of hiding the football, but Garrett Gray wouldn't bite, and the number 40 strong side linebacker comes in to make the stop.
Well, it sure looked like he got out of bounds there, but they
did too, yeah.
Keep the clock running. 10:42 to go. You know, Valparaiso, the girls swimming team has been outstanding. Is what that young lady like us to tell everybody.
Kind of looks like it, doesn't it?
They're having some fun, aren't they? I say about Valparaiso, they've come up with a fumble recovery. They came up with a big interception. If you look at the plays that Ben Davis has scored on a 4th and 1, they broke contain on a goal line defense. And they went for 6. Had a pass down on the goal line. It was up for grabs. Their guy who caught it, got it in the end zone. Credit Ben Davis, but Valparaiso has done a great job defensively.
Banks keeps it. Banks running. 15. Now angles up to the 20. Gets knocked down right at the 20-yard line. He got hit. He got hit hard by number 3. Ryan Story was in there, and some help coming in from the other side also. Here's Banks climbing off the deck, repairing his shoulder pads. And now he'll go back out on a 4th down and about 3 to punt the ball away. Banks averaging 38.2. What was the Banks punt last time? 50-some yards, as I recall.
8 yards.
Yeah. He'll stand back on his spine, get the punt away from about the 8 or 9-yard line. Banks does not hit this one well at all. It'll come up short of the field, and midfield stripe and take a Valparaiso bounce, and Valpo is going to have good field position. They will get it on the 37. Now that may have been one of the things that Mark Hoffman was talking about. They got the defensive stop. Now they got some decent field position.
And he put the onus right on the defense and said, we're going to go for 3. You got to get us the ball back. And they got it done. Maybe a little more focused that way.
17 yards on the punt. James Banks looks a little bit weary out there right now.
Well, he's been guarding Jeff Samardzija all night long. Let's see if they try to pick on him a little bit.
And off to Matt Hanlon, who hits a stone wall right at the line of scrimmage and may have lost a yard or two.
Well, they were waiting for him at the line of scrimmage. Loss of a couple.
Dante Hart, defensive tackle, going both ways, makes the stop. Clock running, 9 minutes and 35 seconds to play. Just as it was imperative that Valparaiso's defense get the job done, now the offense has to answer if they have any hope in this football game. They can't afford to give the ball back over to Ben Davis without putting some points on the board. Twin sets to the right, got a man in motion back there. Gets to Marja. And another loss. Back to around the 45 is John Colston, the weak side linebacker, who has 97 tackles coming into tonight's game, and 7 of those were tackles for a loss. Comes in to make the stop.
Well, Wren never got into the pattern here. I'm not sure if he was supposed to. He gives the ball off behind the line of scrimmage, and it was pretty obvious, so I think everybody had an idea. And Samardzija just never had time to even look downfield. They had 2 receivers deep. Vikings.
And Davis's defensive unit will come at you. They swarm to the football. 3rd down, 18. Now to get a bunch of it back at once. Nice looking pass, picked off. Picked off at the 23-yard line. Up the far sideline, got a couple of guys to beat. Cuts back to the near side. Back to about the 20-yard line, and James Banks has done it again. Banks takes it from about the, 10 or 12-yard line, and Jason Rem, the quarterback, meets Banks, the other quarterback, and stops him on the 22-yard line.
Is it absolutely amazing how quick James Banks gets from one end of the field to the other?
Here's Banks at about, where are we here? Right about the 21 or 22-yard line. So from the 21 to the 21.
8th interception of the season, and he's taken 4 of them back for touchdowns. Tries to cut back here, didn't get a block down there, and
58-yard interception return.
Colston gets another look at quarterback here while James Banks catches a breath on the sidelines.
Second interception for that defensive secondary of Ben Davis in this football game, and that's the last thing that Valparaiso needed.
Well, they were going backward, and that created a little bit of emergency on the part of the quarterback, Jason Wren. Threw it up for grabs, and James Banks playing probably a pretty good left fielder, wouldn't he?
Where does James Banks play?
Anywhere he wants.
Anywhere he wants to right now. I know it's going to be upsetting to some of the Valparaiso fans or non-Ben Davis fans, but disregard your prejudices in a situation like that. Let's take a look at one way at the football player. Before the season began, I talked to Dick Dullahan by phone. He told me at the end of our conversation that James Banks was the finest athlete he had ever coached.
Colston doing a good job of letting the clock run down.
Here's the pitch back deep now to the tailback over the left side, running room. Look out, Garrett Phillips will take it all the way in. Garrett Phillips from 18.
Nice effort by Ben Davis to capitalize on the great interception return as they hold up their quarterback / defensive back / special team star James Banks. He gets the interception down to the 22, and 2 plays later they're in the end zone.
18-yard touchdown run by number 42, Garrett Phillips, his 22nd touchdown run of the year.
Nice job by the fullback.
Well, good cut right there.
We mentioned the play in an earlier game of one of the fullbacks, Adam Blakey, with a great block there at the point of attack.
Colston will hold. Here comes the point after down from Casey Huffman. It'll be good. And with 7 minutes and 37 seconds to play, Ben Davis now with a commanding 18-point lead, 28-10 over Valparaiso, 5A championship. This is the IHSAA Television Network.
You're enjoying high school football state championships on WYIN PBS 56. We love bringing them to you. Both the games today. We haven't had 2 teams in the state finals since '97. And Andrean and Valparaiso closing out storybook seasons here today.
But it does cost dough to do this. Believe me, friends, does it ever. Here are some of the things we have for you at the different levels that you may pledge and see what you get.
Yeah, the 56 sports sweatshirt and t-shirt both would be yours with a pledge of $150 today. We'd love you to put that on your credit card. and we'll get that right out to you. The important thing, though, is to support high school football on Channel 56. Here's a gift at $100. A 56 sports sweatshirt could be yours, or the T-shirt at a $75 level could be yours right here with the call to us and your pledge. We pay the High School Football Association many dollars for these games, and we're trying to get you to help us out in paying that. $60 for our member card, great 2-for-1 dining at many area restaurants and museums. Nothing wrong with 2-for-1 dining anywhere. That is a great value. The important thing, though, call pledge. When you pledge today, you're casting your vote in support of high school football and public television right here.
We pay our money to get the games. That's our premium. Your premium is just what Joe told you about right here while we're getting set to go back to the game. So pick up the phone, won't you please? It'll take just a few moments. Give us the numbers here off your card and your address so we can get the premium to you. So call us now.
Well, there's some very happy fans up at Ben Davis section that just watched their club go 21 yards in 2 plays in 45 seconds. And Bob, the last thing in the world that the Valparaiso club needed was something like that to happen.
Well, bad enough a turnover, but then about a 60-yard return down to the 21-yard line. Sid Banks finally got to watch a touchdown. Didn't get to do that very often, but he was on the sidelines as they scored.
Look at Mark Hoffman. He and his wife Sue have child Heather, 3 grandkids, by the way. Valparaiso, graduate of Andrian High School, Butler University.
I'll tell you what, the Ben Davis Giants have taken an 18-point lead. Valparaiso could use a Samardzija kickoff
Yes, they
return.
could.
We'll see if they give him the ball.
3 deep receivers this time. Here is the kick. It'll be taken down at about the 5-yard line. That is Samardzija. He's going to pitch it back. That's almost a forward pass. It's scooped up on the far sideline over there. And a little bit of running room across the 20, shy of the 25-yard line. Knocked down by Josh Foster.
It'll go as a lateral.
Yeah.
Even though it skipped once, it was still a live ball. Awfully dangerous thing to do, but you gotta take your chances. This pass, by the way, from one, well outside the number, trying to get it over to the other number. That's about a 35-yard pass.
That is a good pass, and it was a good backward pass. Picked up by David Blythe on the far sideline. So a must-score situation now for Valparaiso. Pass out of the near side. Nice reception that time, taken in by John Kreisa. 7:17 to play. Charles Harris, the defensive coverage. There is Kreisa, number 9. Valparaiso, preseason rated number 8 by the AP, 4th by the Indiana Football Coaches Association. It's a quick play. And in the final poll, AP had him 5, and football coaches ranked him number 3. Last year, this is a club, Valparaiso, that finished 9-4. They lost to Penn 28-7 in the regional. They've done a remarkable job of scooping their way up to a 13-1 record right now. Then with nowhere to go, Colston was all over him. Number 2.
You know, maybe one of the things that we lose focus of with all the things that James Banks does. He scored 2 touchdowns running and thrown for 1. But this defense for Ben Davis has just been fantastic. And when you put 61 points on the board last week, you say, well, that's an easy win. They held a pretty good football team to 20 points. And again, Evansville Reitz doesn't make it to the semi-state by accident. So pretty good performance by Dick Delahan's defense. And a lot of these guys back next year.
Oh, man. Well, they had 3 shutouts. They shut out Cathedral, Terre Haute South, and Southport, and outscored those 3 teams by a total of 134-0. Wren trying to buy some time. Overthrows the intended receiver, John Kreisa. Harris with the coverage in the area.
And with 5:59 to go in the 4th quarter, Valparaiso going to punt the football away. They really, I guess you don't have much choice. It's 4th down and 6. Of course, if you lose by 1 or lose by 20, it doesn't make any difference. But Mark Hoffman probably making the right choice here. James Banks is not trusting them for the punt yet. He's only back to about the 50-yard line, but he's got time.
There's the kick. Pretty good kick over Banks' head. It'll bounce at about the 25. I don't think James touched it, but he came very close to it. It'll wander inside, go right at the 20-yard line. And from there, James Banks will stay on the field and quarterback the Ben Davis Giants, perhaps for their final offensive series of this football game, a 51-yard punt.
And perhaps the final offensive series for that man, James Banks.
It'll be interesting to see where he matriculates next year, because if you're a football program anywhere in the country, you'd love to have this guy on your program. He has, let's see, 14 carries for 115 yards and a touchdown. He's hit 4 of 6 passing for a touchdown and 79 yards. He's been picked twice. So his total offense around the 200-yard mark.
60-yard return on an interception. He is special.
On the far hash mark. Here's the give now. And they're just going to keep the ball on the ground. You're not going to see much happening through the air. One of the Ben Davis players kind of slow getting off the deck. That's Rich Gregory, number 64. Garrett Gray with the tackle. 5.5 minutes to play.
Folks starting to feel it, starting to enjoy it. And I'll tell you what, every one of them is special. Dick Dullahan has had a great run, Jerry Baker, but I tell you what, every one of the state championships he's won has been very special to him.
This would be number 7. He has 6 state championships, 11 semi-states, 14 regionals, and 14 sectionals. With the ball over on the far sideline, try to keep the ball inbounds. They will. Just kind of keep that clock running over there. Chris Yaros with the tackle. I believe it was Charles Anthony with the ball at the time.
You know, we spent a lot of time talking about Jerry Brewer and what winning a state championship meant to him, but in reality, the 43 years with the kids is what meant so much to him. And same for Dick Dullahan. And Mark Hoffman with 25 years in, he's looking like the junior member here, but 25 years he's devoted.
Dick's been coaching Dick Dullahan 29 years, 18 at Ben Davis. He spent 7 at Carmel and 4 at Chittard. He's won 288, looking for his 289th game, the 6th best winning percentage in state history, number 1 among active coaches. Here is the fumble, picked up and hitting into the end zone. Valparaiso will put up a score on the board on the fumble recovery by number 21, Mike Derula. Mike Derula picks up the fumble and takes it in for the TD.
Well, now.
That does change things just a tad here. Banks coming off on the near side, fakes the pitch. And it's knocked away. Really good play by number 40 on the defensive side of the football for Valparaiso. Let's check his
Garrett Gray.
It's Garrett Gray again, the strong side linebacker, 28 yards on the fumble return.
Well, do you go for 2 here? Timeout on the field for Ben Davis. I think they are going to try to go for 2 and maybe just put the seed of reality into Ben Davis's mind. If they get to 2 here, it's a 10-point game.
Touchdown, field goal, tie it or win it. Did quiet the Ben Davis crowd down just a bit, didn't it?
It sure did, and I think the Valpo crowd was kind of saying, well, our guys, we're going to give them a nice hand and tell them they did a good job. All of a sudden now you're back to thinking you got a chance to win this game.
Nice job by Garrett Gray and knocking it away, and the pickup by Mike Drilla, the Viking linebacker, who takes it in from 28 yards out.
Well, this is a team that certainly has to believe. Again, they were down with 8 minutes to go, down 14 points at Penn. Came back to tie it, went to overtime. Penn behind a great offensive line. I tell you what, they had an offensive line that nearly all state. They were all conference, but they ran behind their guys a couple of times, as everyone would have expected them to. And we expect them to get in from 1 yard out. On 2 occasions, they didn't do it. And again, the Valpo defensive line did a great job. Then they didn't even mess around. They gave the ball to Carl Joy, and he drilled it through from 27 yards out to win in overtime 24-21.
Yeah, let's see if they line up with the turf. They bring Joya out there. I believe they got to go for the 2, and that's what they're going to do right now. They take it to the left side hash mark. They got wide receivers. In fact, they got trips out to the right side, and the tight end is set likewise on that right end of the line. Here we go now. Pretty big point after situation, and a penalty marker comes down before anything can happen. Somebody may have lined up in the neutral zone. It is offside against Ben Davis. That's exactly what happened. Somebody popped in that neutral zone, and they'll mark it down half the distance. Now it's at the 1.5 yard line.
And if you're Dick Dullahan, what you want to do here is get the focus back. I don't know if the guys were starting to celebrate early, but you got to snap everybody back to attention. There's 4 minutes and 14 seconds left to go.
What can happen? I notice Ryan Culp and Rick Roy, numbers 67 and 68, going back out on the defensive side of the football for the Ben Davis Giants. Here comes Valparaiso. Rich Kurga is the center. They're going to step it up to the left side, strong to the left. Let's see what happens now. Big play for the two-point conversion. Heading into the end zone. Did he get it? He did not. Ball carrier, Matt Hanlon. They stopped him from 1.5 yards out.
Big play by that Ben Davis defense. A couple guys on the ground over there. And one of them, as we talked about, you talk about special guys on this team. What a tremendous effort by Joe Spinks in there.
So we're down to 4:14 to go here in the game on the IHSAA television network.
Local broadcast of the Indiana Class 5 state championship game between the Valparaiso Vikings and Indianapolis Ben Davis High Schools is made possible by grants from the people of First United Methodist Church of Valparaiso, a servant community of Jesus Christ located at 103 North Franklin Street across from the public library.
Last night, I watched my daughter sleeping, smelling of soap and tangle-free shampoo, and suddenly the responsibility of preparing that little human being for the world was overwhelming. I'm 36 and single, and I'm strong. That's why I'm here.
If you're searching for something to believe in, for your children to believe in, our hearts, our minds, and our doors are always open. The people of the United Methodist Church.
And Von Tobel Lumber and Hardware, voted one of the best home centers in Northwest Indiana, supplying building materials and services to professional contractors and do-it-yourself consumers. Von Tobel Lumber and Hardware proudly supports Valparaiso High School athletics and has served the Valparaiso community for over 35 years.
You're watching viewer-supported WYIN Gary Maryville.
Here was a look at the attempted two-point conversion. How big this would have been, Bob.
Very big. And again, you look at the guys they brought in there, and there's another great hit by Polson. Boy, he had himself a game. Also some help defensively from Dante Hart. I think we may see another onside attempt here, pardon?
I could almost bet my lunch money on that. So where they're lined up anyway. We'll see what happens. They had success with it earlier in this game. Look where they got their unit lined up. Clear back at the 20-yard line. I would assume they'll come charging up there.
Full
speed. Full steam ahead. Up here they come. They'll try to time it. They do. Here is the kick. It is up in the air. It is batted around. It may be picked up and bounced. Oh, he had it and let it get away. It's a loose ball picked up by Ben Davis. Ben Davis with the football. They're going to take it in. It's Jermel Wharton. Now they're going to mark it down, apparently. Well, that's right. They cannot advance the fumble. He took it in and thrilled the crowd, but you can't take it in there.
That is as exciting a play as you'll see, and Valparaiso had a chance, but
they did.
Ben Davis did a good job. They batted it away. This is well done. It's a practice kick. Look how high it jumps. Free ball. Tip drill going there for Ben Davis.
And here's the guy. Here's what I thought. I thought they had it right there in the form of 37. I think Dan Abel. You can't advance the fumble. That's the reason it is where it is right now. Yeah, you know, I'm not real sure about that. That ball was touched. The only thing I can figure, his knee went down or something of that nature, because that doesn't seem quite right.
Could have even been an inadvertent whistle.
It could have been, I suppose. Over the middle. Ben Davis with the football, and Connor McShane makes the tackle.
Well, we're kind of where we expected to be a few minutes ago, and that would be Ben Davis running the clock out with a pretty safe lead, but it's strange how we got here.
It's 28-16, as you see on your screen. It's taken forever to play the last 10 minutes of this football game. About the time you're ready to pack it up and engrave the trophy for Ben Davis. They have a fumble. It's run in from 28 yards out that cuts it down to 28-16. Valpo goes for the two-point conversion and fails. Go for the onside kick, and pretty successful onside kick, except for the fact they couldn't quite get to the football. Fake on the pitch, given inside all the way up the middle. They drag him down at the 5-yard line. Nice looking run that time by Brandon Warner. We have not called Warner's name very much. Dustin Bowe was the last line of defense. And there is Warner, 5'10", 166-pound junior.
Well, Dustin Bowe doing a nice job on this play. Jerry, you think about the situation. You're down 12, 3:15 to go. They've got a big runner coming at you, and I can just wave at him and let him go. But no, Bowe pulls him down. That's the way Mark Hoffman has built this team. They believe in themselves and each other, and they're playing all out to the end.
20-yard pickup. First and goal from the just inside the 4-yard line. There's Mark. There's James Banks. He's had a typical James Banks day-to-day. He's also made some mistakes that really gave Valparaiso a breath of hope. Burrowing over the left side, close to the goal line, but not quite in. It's 21, Dante Hart. Story with a stop. Second down and goal. Ben Davis is about to win another state championship.
Well, no lack of courage on the part of either team tonight. Ben Davis has come out, made some spectacular plays. Said, Jerry, both teams have made some mistakes, but all in the effort of giving it all you got to win a state championship. And for the fans here, just have to be absolutely thrilled. We've had great attendance in all 5 games this weekend, and congratulations to Bobby Cox, assistant commissioner in the IHSAA, who's the tournament director. Fantastic job by the IHSAA and their staff.
Very pleased with the attendance last night, and I'm sure so today. Right side, touchdown. Dante Hart's first touchdown from about a yard out.
Might be a little icing.
Well, we told you Ben Davis in the tournament is averaging just under 57 points a game. In regular season, they were at 36-8, and they're at 34 right now, about to go for 35.
Dick Dullahan with a nice handshake to his quarterback, James Banks, who's just about spent, as he usually is after every game.
Yep. Point after will come from Casey Huffman. He's been perfect in the point after department tonight. 4 for 4. And 5 for 5. 58 for 63 on the year. And we'll go to a break with the final minute 58 coming up shortly. It's Ben Davis 35, Valparaiso 16.
The PBS 56 member card is better than ever. For a $60 donation to Channel 56, you will receive the WYIN Channel 56 member card. This card is good for 2-for-1 dining in many area restaurants in Indiana and Illinois, and the list is growing daily. Even if you've subscribed to 56 before, you won't want to miss the great deals you'll receive with the member card. And if you like to travel, the member card is good in many locations across the United States and Canada. Simply call the member card services number to receive your benefits. You can also use your member card for great deals at attractions in Indiana and Illinois. Don't pass up this opportunity for 2-for-1 deals with the WYIN member card. Yours for a $60 donation to PBS 56.
I'm Alan Hari, president of Valparaiso University. On behalf of the 6 colleges and universities of Northwest Indiana that sponsor the Quality of Life Council, I invite you to watch QLC Talk of the Region. This program airs the second Friday and Sunday of each month. It focuses on issues important to the quality of life in our region. Please join us for this important program. Thank you.
Minute 58. Just look at a guy who has expended himself today in every facet of the game. James Banks.
What do you suppose is going through that mind when you think about all the games he's played here, the great moments, the state championships he's won, his relationship with Dick Dullahan that we learned so much about at halftime, his teammates, his future. You just want to hit the brakes on the world for a minute, just enjoy it, eat it up.
But what he doesn't know is he's about to hit the accelerator going 100 miles an hour over the next few weeks. He set the school career passing mark in an earlier game this year, back on the 31st of August. Broke the school passing mark, which was 3,691 yards, set by Chris Ings in Davis back in '92. Here is the kick. It is going to go into the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 20-yard line against Decatur Central in the sectional. Banks 171 yards passing against Warren Central. Banks 131 yards passing. We'll try to get James Banks' numbers both running and passing in the football game tonight, and take a look at him and just add a touch on him.
Casey Huffman with another kick into the end zone. He's been a weapon tonight.
Yes, he has.
Perfect on his extra points. And again, when you get a chance, and we've had a chance over the years to attend a couple practices of Ben Davis, Dick Delahan does a great job of delegating authority to his assistants to work on offense, defense, special teams, like any school would do. But this has a great team around it.
You can't get here by yourself, that's for sure. Pass is completed. Larger across the 30 to about the 32 or 33-yard line. I think part of that, Bob, is also the fact he spent some time in a couple of good college programs, Purdue, Army, where you have, and he was an assistant there, and you learn to appreciate the delegation of authority, and you learn that with a program like that, you've got to have some help. And I do believe that college background helped him in that respect.
Frazier will not quit.
1:44 to play. It's 35-16. Jason Wren looking for a receiver. Throws it away. And that'll stop the clock at 1:35 to go. Just taking a look at James Banks' numbers here. We mentioned passing. He's not put the ball up very much. 4 of 6 with 1 touchdown, 79 yards, couple of picks. Rushing 16 carries, 122 yards. So he is over the 200-yard mark. Had a touchdown on the ground likewise.
There should be a category to account for every punt out of bounds and every kickoff away from him.
Yeah.
Another 100 yards or so in that category. And that's good strategy by Mark Hoffman.
If you add in his interceptions and things of that nature, he's 250 yards or so tonight. That's Banks defensively. Still out there going strong in the final minute 27 of this football game.
Yeah, if you wonder why Banks is still out there, all the Valpo offensive starters are still out there, and I think Mark Hoffman may start to clear his bench a little bit. If he does, Dick Delahan will do the same thing.
Well, it's the last game that James Banks will play, and I got a feeling that Dick's going to say, when you're ready to come out, let me know. And he might take him out just to get a bit of an ovation from the crowd on the near side. Valparaiso is staying right with it. They have not tossed in the towel just yet. They're down 35-16. Ran out of the shotgun again, as he has been throughout most of this game. He'll swing back, and they'll knock him down at the 29. Terrific pursuit that time by Quentin Wilburn, the defensive end, who has 1 fumble recovery in this game. Came in with 85 tackles. It's Dick Delahan's family over here on the near side. That's Antoinette. And that's one of, I'm guessing, 5 grandchildren.
Having some fun.
There's another grandkid right there. She is very active, as are a lot of coaches' wives in the football program around the state.
They're her kids, too.
Yes, they are. Down to 42 seconds to play here in this football game. Wren gets a little time this time, comes over the middle, and the ball is knocked away.
Samardzija took a hit from Banks, didn't he?
Almost intercepted by August Davenport that time, too.
Well, 3rd down and long. The clock stops with 37 to go. Mark Hoffman says these kids work hard to get here. I'm going to let them finish it up.
We have grown to love each other. We've been here together since about 10:30 this morning.
And I'll tell you what a day. We've just been so blessed to be here for the 2 games on Friday, 3 today. And thanks to all the athletic directors and administrators and coaches. They help make our job so much easier.
Thanks to Jim Russell, the sports information director for the IHSAA, for helping compile all the information. Here's the long lob upfield, and it'll be dropped.
Hey, what a great play as Wren threw the ball. He was in the arms of the defensive end. Looked like number 95, Aaron David Delp. And he had a chance to watch as we see the quarterback. He has a chance to put him down, but he just grabbed him and held him. Here, don't go down.
Yeah.
Great sportsmanship.
And here's the near pass interception. I mentioned Jim Russell, the sports information director. Jim, this will be the last football game he'll be involved with the high schoolers. Jim is leaving to join the fraternity. And I apologize, I'm not sure which fraternity that is that he was a member of while he was at Purdue University. And we're going to miss him dearly because he just did an outstanding job in the media relations department.
They're going for it.
Well, there's a shocker for you. Why not? Final 25 seconds of the game. Wren puts it up for grabs. It's going to be picked and taken at the 40-yard line.
Exclamation point.
Banks caught from behind at the 35-yard line. For James, his second pass interception of the game. And with 11 seconds to go, if I know Dick Dullahan, he'll set him up. He'll have to take the snap to get the clock started. He'll take a knee. Here comes Banks to the sideline. What a game this young man has had. We don't have the availability at our hands right now to get the tackles and things of that nature on the defensive side of the football, but we know what he's done tonight. Banks, as we talked about, 122 yards rushing, 79 yards passing, 2 interceptions tonight on the defensive side of the game. And just a whale of an effort by an outstanding young man. They look up to him at the school. He recognizes that, too. They're going to take the knee right now, Bob. That's it.
He said, Coach, this is my team, my football. I'll finish it.
Ben Davis's coach, Dick Dullahan, coaching in his 10th state championship game. Don Howell of Hobart has 11. And along with Bud Wright, they were the only coaches, Bud Wright of Sheridan and Dick Dullahan, the coach to win 6 state championships, and that now honor belongs to Dick Dullahan. He has now won 7 state championships, the 3A state title at Carmel in '78, the 5A state championships at Ben Davis in 1987, 88, 90, 91, 99, and 01. Also a 5A runner-up in 1992 and 1996. He was the National High School Coach of the Year in '91. His team went 14-0. They were #1 in the nation. '97, he was inducted into the Indiana Football Hall of Fame. He talks with Mark Hoffman right now. And just an outstanding effort for this young man. And he is down on the sideline. And Greg Rakestraw has wandered up next to him. Let's get his thoughts right now. Greg, it's yours.
Dick Dullahan joining us now live on the sidelines. Coach, how does it feel?
Well, I'm so happy for my players and my coaches. You know, every football team is different, and this one is no exception. This one showed great character the whole year. I'm so proud of them. They just made a lot of statements tonight about their character and the way that they would not surrender. And we put them in some bad spots. I thought our defense did a fabulous job. Tommy Allen, Mike Kirshner, Mike Davidson, the coaching staff on that defense did a fabulous job. I'm just so happy for my kids.
So much of the accolades go to James Banks, and it's so nice for you, it has to be, to get this ultimate team reward.
Well, I told everybody a long time ago that he was the best football player in Indiana. I think he proved it tonight.
Just your thoughts on what it was like to coach him in his career at Ben Davis.
Well, it's been a lot of fun because he can do so much, and he believes he's supposed to do it. And he believes he's supposed to make plays, and that's what he does. He just makes plays every time he steps on the field.
You thought about how Coach Hoffman's team at Valpo performed tonight?
I thought they played excellent. I thought that Valpo was a very good football team, and they showed a great deal of strength up front. Defensive line played very well. They're very well schooled. They were never out of position. It was a situation where you had to beat them and you had to make some big plays.
Coach, we'll let you go enjoy this, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you very much.
Dick Dullahan, head coach of the Ben Davis Giants. We'll have some player interviews in a minute, guys. Now back up to you in the booth.
All right, Greg, Ben Davis ranked #1 in the final Associated Press poll for the 7th time since 1988. And this game tonight proved why they are #1. That's James Banks shaking hands with Greg Rakestraw. We're going to be going down to Greg in a couple of minutes, hopefully, and get some comments. And there's Banks over to hug his coach. That is truly a mutual admiration affair right there.
That is a tremendous tribute. You talk about 2 men who will love and respect each other as long as they live. What a great gift James Banks gave to all of us, and certainly to the Ben Davis Giants and Dick Dullahan and his wife
Antoinette. It's an emotional moment for Dick. We talked about it earlier if you weren't with us, and Dick is not adverse to talking about it. He's gone through some health problems over the last couple of years and has fought those off, getting better with each passing day, and we wish him nothing but absolute best, clear health in the future. He's been around now, Ben Davis. This is his 18th year. He's won 190 games there. In his career, he's won 289. He's the winningest coach among active coaches, percentage-wise.
You know, we talk about how proud we are of this country and what we're about. You just saw a picture there that tells a million messages. And you wonder sometimes about the value in athletics in the high school and in the curriculum.
Let's go back down to the sideline.
See what happened here tonight and don't wonder anymore.
No, you're right there. Let's go back down to the sideline. Greg Rickstraw. Greg.
Thank you very much, Jerry. James Banks, what a way to cap off your tremendous high school career. After you congratulated the players, you had a long embrace with Coach Dolahan. Tell us about your relationship.
Well, Coach G, he's like a father to me. I mean, he's helped me out so much. You know, it's all because of him that, you know, I'm the player that I am today. And, you know, it just hurts me inside to, you know, have to leave this Ben Davis program that has meant so much to me since my sophomore year.
I know that obviously the individual accolades mean so much to you, but I take it they pale in comparison to this.
No, I give up all that stuff. I mean, everything that I've gotten, you know, in my 3 years here to, you know, have that state championship that I won my sophomore year, and then especially my senior year. You know, that's the only way any senior would dream to go out, you know, winning the last game. And, you know, thank God we were able to do that today.
How does this compare to that one from 2 years ago?
Well, I think to me it's a little bit sweeter because it's my senior year, and, you know, this is my last go-round. And this senior class that I have with me, you know, we worked so hard. We earned this. I mean, we really did.
James, congratulations, and thank you for all the great memories you've given us this season.
Thank you.
James Banks joining us. Let's welcome another member of the Ben Davis program with us, part of the multi-headed monster in the backfield. Dante Hart joining us. Garrett Phillips in here as well. Dante, your thoughts on just the atmosphere. What was it like to play out here today?
Hey, to play, they a good team. They're a real good team. Good coaching and everything. It shook their hands and everything, but I was coming to play for my seniors, for them, because I got one more year. I came to play for them. I want them to have a championship, another one, and I love them. I love them.
Garrett, I know that the last couple of weeks you kind of took a secondary role to Dante. Tell us what it was like. I'm sure it was worth it getting the state championship.
It didn't matter, you know, we're a team, and, you know, we're going to play as a team, and no matter who's in there at what time, we all going to give it our all. And, you know, I just love my teammates to death, you know, and I love the juniors and sophomores who helped us and everything, and I love my seniors who helped play, so it was all worth it.
I know a lot of the attention goes to James Banks. Let me throw the question to you like this. How is James as a teammate?
James is a wonderful teammate. He gives you much emotion. He gives you everything he got. And if he's going to come out and play, you better come out and play with him.
Congratulations, Garrett, on the season. And, guys, we'll let you go into it. Let's get one quick bite from Quentin, the defensive star of the day. Just your thoughts on winning that state title.
It feels good, man. We had to come out here. We knew it was going to be tough, so we came out here and gave it out. All we had, we small, but we just got the heart. We got heart. It's just we give credit to my defensive coordinator, Coach Allen, and my position coach, Coach Kirshner. If it weren't for them, we wouldn't be here today.
Quentin, congratulations on the victory.
Thank you.
All right, once again, Quentin Will joining us here post-game. Ben Davis once again getting another state championship number 6. We'll have more players in just a moment. Guys, back up to you.
Well, you were talking to Garrett Phillips and Dante Hart. They both had touchdowns today. Phillips an 18-yard run in the fourth quarter with 7:37 to go, and Dante Hart a 1-yard run with 1:58 to go. Just checking here the tackles. Dante Hart with 9. Josh Foster was 7. Todd Barnard was 6, and 5 each for Wilburn and Meeks. Valparaiso, they had 2 guys with 9, Ryan Story and Garrett Gray. Wanted to give some accolades to the Valparaiso side, or the defensive side of the football. Now we go down the line as the Valparaiso Vikings are getting their runner-up medallions. It's one of the tough times for the runner-up team. They always talk about this in the meetings on Monday preceding these games on Friday and Saturday, about how to have your young men react to this kind of a situation. And Bob, what I have seen today and what I watched last night with you guys on television, you and Howard and John, I've seen nothing but the best of sportsmanship.
That's what makes this tournament so special and why it's so important to all the administrators and the principals who make up the IHSA board of directors. They love what these tournaments are about because they are such special events. And I'm always reminded of that line from the movie Hoosiers where I think it was Gene Hackman's, I guess the love interest in the movie for Gene Hackman, who said, "I can't believe what you people do for a moment of glory." And he said, you have any idea what people would give for one moment of glory? And we see this. That young man right there, number 30, is going to be able to tell his grandkids that he was on a team that played for the state championship in the state of Indiana. These are young kids. These are dreams that are being built right here. They want to get back here, these young guys.
We just went past, excuse me, Bob, we just went past number 31 for Valparaiso. That was Matt Handlin, and he is the young man who wins the Phil Enescu Mental Attitude Award. And our congratulations going out to him. We may have an opportunity, Greg Rakestraw may have an opportunity to get a hold of number 31, Matt Handlin, for Valparaiso and get some comments from him, get his thoughts once they are through handing out the medallions.
Well, you mentioned, too, Jim Russell in his final game working the football state championships, and our debt of gratitude is tremendous for his great work, and we trust that he will do well and be successful in his future endeavors. But his contribution has been tremendous, taking over for Bob Williams, and it's a big chore. He did a great job.
So Dick Dullahan talking to a representative from Cathedral High School there just a second ago. Okay, let's go down now to Greg Rakestraw with our Mental Attitude Award winner. Greg?
Our Mental Attitude Award winner is Matt Handlin from Valparaiso. Just tell us your thoughts about simply the atmosphere out here getting to play in the state championship game.
Well, the atmosphere was great. I mean, when you first come out here and you see, the big stadium and everything, you're just in awe. And Ben Davis played a great game today. We had our chances, and we didn't really capitalize on them. But you got to hand it to them. They played a great game.
I take it that this doesn't put much of a damper on your season, does it?
Well, you always want to end up a winner, but making it to the state championship is an accomplishment in itself. And this team's been through a lot, and we've handled adversity really well, and we had a great season. So keep our heads up.
Matt, what does this individual award mean to you?
Well, it makes me feel good that that you're not just known for sports, and that you're known for more than just your athleticism, and that you're a good guy all around. So it makes you feel pretty good.
Tell us about Coach Hoffman. Ignore the fact he's over your right shoulder.
Coach Hoffman's a great guy. I mean, I've never known anybody to care more than him about his players, and he's just a great guy.
All right, Coach, tell us a little bit about Mr. Handlin here.
Matt's been our leader for actually 4 years, and he's a tremendous competitor and excels in 3 sports, and greater than that, he excels in the classroom. And we've had a lot of Mental Attitude Award winners, but he is probably one of the most deserving we've ever had. Top notch, and wherever he goes, he's going to be successful in all his endeavors.
Tell us about the pride you have for your kids right now.
Oh, the pride for my kids, you can't measure it. And the pride for our community in Valparaiso. And we had to hit a hard road to get here. We had a lot of great teams we had to beat, and we tried to represent the North the best we could, and we just ran into a great football team in Ben Davis.
Coach, congratulations on a great season.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, back up to you in the booth.
Yeah, they had a Mental Attitude Award winner, they being Valparaiso, back in 1975 when Tom Smith won this particular award. Still handing out the runner-up medallions. We will, if time permits.
Dollars to find a wife. And we'll reveal the mystery bride who said "I do" for the second time this weekend.
It was Greg who mentioned that, Mark Hoffman actually, mentioned that he was proud to represent the North and did a great job. And the way it worked out, the North won the first 2 games. Southern teams won the last 3. So the
evens out, doesn't it?
Edge goes to the South this year. Although I don't know if Ben Davis and Chittard is really in the South. That's more like the middle of the
kind of a neutral zone, is it not?
A lot of great competition, and boy, what a terrific tournament. Again, we mentioned the name Amzie Miller a couple of times, who was the principal at New Prairie High School, and said, you know what, I don't think this cluster thing is fair, although it was a great effort to try to get the thing done. Yeah. He helped the IHSAA. They all came up with a plan, and this is tremendous because coaches can teach, and they can be patient, and they can work with kids. And we saw Plymouth make it to a semi-state. That's a team that was beat up during the season. They were able to get healthy, which was a huge advantage to them. And, well, we've had some great stories again this year. It's a great tournament.
We'll take a break and come back to the RCA Dome in just a moment. Ben Davis wins the 5A title, 35-16 of the IHSAA Television Network.
And now, another digital bit with Bob Craigsley.
With digital TV, we can either broadcast one high-definition show or divide up the signal and broadcast several different PBS shows at the same time. It's called multicasting, and it's another reason
digital TV isn't just a good idea, it's the future of television.
Sam, can you help?
I'm busy.
Come on, I can't get this thing fixed.
Well, get out of the way.
You gotta come through right.
You want my help or not?
Yeah, but you gotta.
Hey, where are you going?
I asked you to help me. Not do it for me.
Every heart wants to know. Every mind needs to know. Every voice wants the chance to be heard. Every person who lives shares the hope they can give. Let us all share the joy.
By the time we can walk, each of us yearns for the joy that comes from being able to do for ourselves. Around the block or around the world, share the joy. Church World Service.
You'd never know it, but nearly half of today's military are National Guard and reservists. However, they can't answer our nation's call without their employer's support. If you're an employer, visit esgr.org and find out how to do your part.
Hi, I'm Patrick Stoner with a quick pick. As a critic, my reviews often have to be negative, but this is the place for a best bet. And here's one that stands above the rest.
Stop. You're going to take someone's eye out. Besides, you're saying it wrong. It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
You do it then if you're so clever.
Go on.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Wingardium Leviosa.
This will be the third week that I have recommended this film. It is because it's not just a normal movie release, it's a phenomenon. It's going to be perhaps the most popular film of the year, even surpassing Shrek, and that's because the charm of the books by J.K. Rowling has been captured in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. My quick pick, this week's film Best Bet. I'm Patrick Stoner.
You're watching viewer-supported WYIN Gary Maryville.
With us is Associate Head Coach Scott Drew. And Coach, finally got a big win against Indiana State the other night. Now you got to continue the momentum.
It's always nice getting the first one. We wish it had been a little earlier, but we did get the first one. And tonight, I know a lot of Valpo fans are hoping for 2 wins. One down in the Dome and one right here in Valpo.
Your ball club lost a tough one against Belmont the other night on the road. A lot of people started to panic, but I think you showed at Indiana State. These kids are resilient. They came back and gave you a good effort.
Well, I don't know if we started to panic, but I think what it did was it did give us a wake-up call, and that is that we need to move the ball, play as a team, and play every possession hard, because if you don't, you're in deep trouble like we found out at Belmont.
When you have as much talent as your team has this year and as much depth, sometimes it's difficult to find the combinations they're going to use.
Well, and that's one area that we've really struggled in, the coaches, especially with all the injuries we've had. We've had 5 players out in the beginning of the year with injuries, and then now Tony taking a leave of absence. So it's been hard for us coaches to identify the roles, but we will do that, and we think we'll be a good team, especially second semester in January.
I expect that most coaches would love to have the depth. When you have this many people that can play, at least you always know you got somebody that maybe is going to come in and contribute.
Yeah, we always thought the depth would be really nice, but the only problem is when they're all injured and you can't practice hard, and then you don't know who to play in the game, it makes it a little tougher. But I was going to say, the nice thing is the team really does get along. They really like each other, and I think as we continue to find what roles we're going to have, we'll be a very strong team by second semester, and we're hoping to win some games before then, obviously, but I think we'll really be rolling by second semester.
Very quickly, Wisconsin-Milwaukee, what kind of ball club are they?
Oh, I think people that remember Coach Davis from Iowa will enjoy watching Wisconsin-Milwaukee play because they play the exact same style. Press most of the game. It'll be very up-tempo, very aggressive, and the fans should have a nice game in hand for them tonight.
Coach, best of luck tonight.
Thank you, and thank you, VU fans.
Coach Scott Drew, the Valparaiso Crusaders, back with the starting lineups in the opening tap of tonight's game in a moment. You're watching PBS 56.
Hammond Law Firm of Beckman, Kelly, and Smith has experience in state and federal courts across northern Indiana. Their attorneys have represented the interests and protected the rights of citizens and businesses from across the country. Put their experience and creativity to work for you. Beckman, Kelly, and Smith.
Local broadcast of Valparaiso men's basketball on PBS 56 is made possible in part by Kennedy Buick, offering a wide selection of new and used cars, plus GM parts, service, and body shop. An award-winning Buick dealer, Kennedy Buick is located at 3200 North Calumet in Valparaiso, and pleased to support VU basketball and PBS 56. 219-462-3111.
And back we are at the Arc, everybody. DeCarlo along with Joe Arredondo as we get ready for tonight's game. The Valparaiso Crusaders and the Wisconsin-Milwaukee Panthers. Wisconsin-Milwaukee 1-1 on the year. The Crusaders at 1-2. Here the starting lineup for the Panthers. Clay Tucker, number 30, and James Wright, 43 at the forwards. Adrian Taggart, number 44 in the middle. Dan Weesey, number 14, and Jason Frederick, number 24 at the guards. For Valparaiso tonight, Lumos Martin, number 1, and Kikas Gomez, number 10 at the forwards. 5, Rytis Grops in the middle. 21, Jared Nunes, and 11, Milo Stovall at the guards. Tony Falloon not with the team tonight. He is in attendance. He had some personal things that had to be taken care of. He left the team for a week with permission from the coaches. He is back in town. That's good news, although he will not play tonight.
Yeah, it definitely is good news. Hopefully he'll be able to adjust to being over here and stay with the team. Crusaders are probably coming off their best half of basketball this season, the second half at Terre Haute, where they shot the ball very well. Dick, let's see if they exploit got a huge size advantage tonight against the starting lineup for Wisconsin-Milwaukee.
Tip taken by Valparaiso. Stovall on the right side. It comes to Nunes. Top of the key to Gomez. Over to Stovall. Milo looking his 5th point tonight. Will be 1,000 in his career. Very good career here at Valparaiso. Lumos Martin backs in. Now backs out. To the baseline to Gomez. Takes it around. And an offensive foul as he hooked him.
Well, the officials, again, will set the tone. And last time we were here with Purdue, everything was a block.
Yep.
And that time, a wraparound called right out of the gate.
Well, it probably was, but you don't see it called that often.
No.
Especially on your home court. Up across the timeline as Weesey comes out, top of the key. Fredericks gets it on the left side to Weesey. He lost the ball. Martin knocks it away. Frederick goes to get it, hands off to Weesey, and he has a high dribble.
Yep.
Brown wanted a call, but didn't get it. Long pass cross court to the baseline to Taggart. Crusaders in a man-to-man. Homer Drew said he wants to work on that. We have to play man-to-man better than we have been. No good on the long one. A rebound to Gomez, and Valparaiso